Hey everybody, we're back. D&D. Welcome, and welcome to the newest member of our party. You may see a new face on the screen here. This is Espo, who's joining us for the first time tonight, and is just jumping right in to this madness. So yeah, that'll be good. If you were not with us last time, then you don't know what's going on, and if you've never watched before, then you really don't know what's going on. But a long time ago, this terrible thing happened, and these big bad guys are trying to make the vanishing permanent and make everyone in the world forget all about who they are and lose their memory completely forever. And so we are trying to stop that from happening. The original group of collectors who were tasked with going out and finding out what was going on, they all died. Mostly. And then a new group of collectors took it up. Well, mostly. One of them's here. So they mostly died. And then that second group, they all died. And a lot of people died. But eventually, they made some progress, got to the end of the Underdark. And now the fight has continued out of the Underdark as the big bad guy has come to the city where we started, and has started threatening the city with a siege unless he gets this fancy dragon statue up here. And last time we had an audience with the king and all his wonderful advisors, who had all sorts of good and concrete plans about how to defend the city. And everyone was real happy with each other and getting along. So that went well. But at the end of it, we decided that we were going to trek out into the wilderness and try to hit their supply lines and disrupt their siege and perhaps destroy their siege equipment on the way out. And as we were going out into the city to leave through the way that we were instructed by Admiral Brandstorm Raven to get out of the city without being seen, we ran into a follower of Shar. And we dispatched her minions, and we were about to finish her off as well, and she said that she wanted us to follow her. And so we did, and we busted her door down to find her doing something with a piece of paper on a desk in the city, and we don't know what it is, who she is, or what she wants. And that is, I think, pretty much everything from last time. There was something else. There was something clever I was going to say, and now I forgot what it was. So, oh well. If I think of it again, I'll...
We're going to give Josh some wait time here to think of his clever things. Everybody just hold on for a second. Because, yeah, like we always need a little cleverness when we start.
I feel like it was good, too, and now I don't. What it was. Oh, well. So anyway, we're running around in the city trying to find this woman.
Yeah, we found her.
We busted down her door. We busted down her door, so we got to see what she has to say.
Because the Farron looked straight through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that people do. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he peeped through her door.
Well, and the wall.
And the wall. It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Abuse of X-ray vision. All right, so that's where we'll start.
And then don't forget, Wigbit, he opened the lock. Don't forget that.
Right, the door was locked, so he used the lock.
Don't forget, Wigbit knows how to open locks. Yeah.
Yep. Warhammer is all you need.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, see?
You can get a lot
he opened the lock, and the door came open. And as the door opened, yes, she is there, and she's quite bloodied. And she turned around and looked at you, and like she had this like paper in her hand, and she so I guess who's in the doorway? Because I guess Wigbit like smashed the door open, but is he the one standing in the doorway, or is it like?
I kind of like stepped aside and like after you guys kind of.
Oh well, then Vale would have gone
in. Okay. So do you go in, or do you just like stand in the doorway?
No, Vale will go in.
Okay. Yeah, so you go in and you're in this like smallish apartment room, and she's, like I said, she's standing there, and she's kind of got like the paper in her hand, like kind of like right here, and as you kind of glaze over like her and look at the scene, your eyes kind of fall to, we'll switch screens here, to the wall. Because she's kind of standing like when you walk in to your right, and on the left, there's like this wall. I mean, it's just like a blank wall, but it's not blank because written, can y'all see it?
Yes.
On
more
the right side of the
prophecy.
screen.
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
There is,
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
there
We're
is,
over here. I see.
Oh boy.
yeah, we're over to the right. Yeah.
Okay.
So the left part of the screen is a street fight,
Yeah,
and
I
then
was
the
like,
right side of the
we're on
screen is the
you see the
wall.
street? What's going on? Now I got it. I'm with
And
you.
so your eyes kind of fall to that, and it's written in red for a reason.
Is it blood?
I mean, it could be. And so like you see it, it's written in and you know, it's clearly written on the wall, nice big red letters. And so she looks at you and she kind of side eyes the wall, and then she looks back at you. And she's still got like this paper in her hand. And she has a very defensible position, almost as if she may be holding an action, you would think. But she's not done anything yet. She's just looking at you as you step in.
You made it seem as if you had information you wanted us to know.
And she looks clearly beyond you to the folks that are behind you. And she's like, yeah, as I said, she's I mean, she's got like blood like coming. I mean, she's a mess. I mean, she is there's not actually a whole lot of her left, to be honest, as she's standing there. So she's got like one hand on the table, the other hand like holding the paper. Is you should know.
But I do not. You will have to share. What is it I should know?
And she kind of side eyes the wall again.
Yes, I can smell that. This is what you want us to know.
And she yeah, she does this kind of like noticeable, not noticeable thing with like the paper where she kind of sort of crumples it in her hand a little bit. And she does it in that obvious but not quite obvious kind of way, you know, that she wants you to like draw attention to it. But she doesn't say anything.
Why do you want us to know?
Night. Night is coming unless...
I think she may be crazy.
She may be crazy.
It appears to be night already.
You do not know. You do not know darkness until you've seen Shar's darkness.
Well, we do not wish to see Shar's darkness.
Roll an insight check.
Everybody, or
Yeah, anybody that's listening can roll an insight check.
I cite it.
Wow, look how insightful our robot
gets it.
is. Wow.
He's got great analytic skills.
I do.
Very good word vocal processing.
Yep.
I mean, I expected the Farron and Vale to get it, but yeah.
I mean, how he interprets it might be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a certain understanding of what's going on.
Right. Yeah, so when you say that, it's clear that she wants to say something else, but it's like she's kind of like almost doing that, like leaning forward, like I'm gonna say it and then I'm not gonna say it type thing. But all you hear is like the crumple of the paper a little more.
So I know what it is to be bound to a master that maybe you'd prefer not to.
I think she wants one of you to read the note.
I would be happy to.
So would you give it to us, or do we have to take it from you? What would be better?
I have a solution. And he'll reach behind him, grabbing Minori's dagger, and flick it at her, aiming to put the butt end of it square between the eyes. Try to knock her out.
And there's a few of you still in the alley, right? Not all of you are inside.
Yeah,
Right.
So I'd imagine like Vale's inside and like
Wig bit,
maybe
I think, put in.
I might have followed you in, yeah.
I would say maybe the Farron and like Sev are kind of like in the doorway,
yeah,
sort of.
I'm watching through the door.
Okay.
I'm watching everything right now.
Yeah, let me know when you guys completely go inside.
Like everything, he's seeing down through the street
Ooh.
into the
I
whatever's below.
critically
Wow.
knock her out.
Whoa!
So
Hmm.
Non-lethal. I said it.
He did.
I said it
Yeah,
a minute ago.
We all heard it.
No,
With
you
a really
actually
nice dagger. I don't know if that helps or hurts.
I think you might have done lethal damage with the butt end. The problem.
cracked her skull.
Dang it.
It's sticking in her head, and you have to grab the
Minus-
sharp end to pull it out.
I might as well roll damage.
So she definitely had a readied action though. So as soon as like
Yeah.
the knife like comes around, let's make sure. Let me see what the effects of this look like. Okay. So she so the dagger like definitely is like gonna be right there, but she seemed to have been ready for something. So it's kind of like all in one motion where like she like steps back and her hand comes up and the dagger like hits the paper and it like sticks the paper to the wall as she disappears.
Nice.
And then so then the paper like stuck to the wall behind her, and she seemed to have like at the same moment like stepped through some kind of door to
Again,
another
dimension.
Yeah. And yeah, and so she vanishes, disappears. She doesn't vanish. She disappears. Very careful with the
Yeah, we still got to
vernacular
figure out if Char, whether or not followers of Char can vanish. And then, he'll go retrieve the dagger and the note, and bring it back to everybody.
Wiggle
All right.
walks up to study the blood on the wall.
I'll
So
step in so I can see what the note says.
All right. As soon as I see you all and Michael, I'm assuming, are you walking or you're staying in the alley?
I'm staying in the alley and watching both.
Okay. So what I'll do as soon as I see Sev go through the doorway, I'll attempt to stealthily walk up as close as I can get. So I've been following, but now I'm finally getting close enough to where I'm assuming I'm gonna walk up until they see me, but I'm gonna try to be stealth.
okay,
So-
roll a stealth if you want to be stealthy.
Yeah, I want to see how close I can get. So,
Oh man.
Well,
I mean, it may not go too well. Yeah.
not that close.
This is something you're good at.
Wow.
all right, so I'm sneaking towards you. I'm sneaking towards the Farron, and obviously, you see me.
Yeah. So you see this? Would you like to describe yourself? I mean, we saw the picture. Would you like to
Yeah.
describe yourself?
Okay, so I as soon as your head turns, I'm assuming when you hear me, you're gonna turn your head towards me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw my hands up, and I have a spear in one hand and a shield in the other, and I kind of open myself up to you. I have a cloak on. I'm obviously a turtle-like face, complete turtle features, and I say, I mean you no harm. Do not harm the lady. She has answers that I think I need.
She's gone. Are you here for Wigbit?
If I'm assuming you're referring to the web-footed humanoid that you have with you, correct?
I mean, I don't have him with me, but he's a collector, like I am.
As long as he's not into collecting turtle shells, I would like to speak with him and all of you. I'm seeking answers about this vanishing that I've been told of.
You've been told of or you've experienced?
I was told I experienced it, but I don't know if I have. It was just something I was told. I'm having trouble recollecting anything.
Then you have experienced the vanishing then.
And I'm to trust you?
I wouldn't, but
I want to know if I believe this guy. I want to know if I believe this guy.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
All right, let me see.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
perfectly natural. Yeah, I wouldn't trust the Baron either.
No,
I have no
especially
idea.
do you trust not trusting him?
I have no
Insight
idea.
check.
There we
I
go.
mean, your insight would suggest that you have no idea. I mean, yeah, it's whatever you think you would feel is what you feel.
I've always been vanished because I don't know anything. I don't even know if I have no choice but to trust you. And
that's true.
do you know these people that are inside this apartment?
I know several.
Can I trust them and you to give me answers?
You can.
If you don't mind, I'd like a word.
And at this point, are we starting to hear the exchange outside?
Oh yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
y'all I mean, Wigbit would have picked up on, like, he heard his name. He heard Wigbit.
I said I was reading prophecy. Quench the light of the what?
And then you hear Wigbit. Yeah.
What do you want?
Sev, you definitely hear the voice behind you. I mean, Vale, you would probably be the last one to pick up on another voice just because you've got the note and your dagger and you brought it back. But, yeah, by this point, y'all are all hearing another voice outside.
I'll go check it out in curiosity.
All right. As soon as I see Wigbit come through the door, you seem like an honest fellow. If I can have a word with you, this vanishing. Yeah, I heard you speak of it, and you appeared to be asking this woman of the vanishing. Is she, I saw blood. Is she okay?
So, Johnny, have I seen a creature of this nature before?
I don't think you'd be entirely unfamiliar with. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a some creature of nature. Yes, I mean, a humanoid, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not be out of the realm of possibility that you haven't, or that you have seen a Tortle before.
Okay.
So, whether that was vanished or not from you long ago, but we'll say that you at least recognize this is a Tortle, if nothing else. And Gus, you recognize that this might be a human that's standing before you?
Yeah, when I see him, I'm a little bit confused, but considering he has amphibious colors and features below his neck, I'm like, okay, I can at least trust this guy because he's somewhat like me.
Yep.
So yeah, Wigbit will kind of approach you like cautiously and curiously and kind of like start walking closer. And then he'll kind of start to like smile, like as he recognizes, and
Okay,
then
so-
he continues to walk closer and like look closer. That's kind of a thing he does. He gets.
So I kind of, I'm still like holding my shield and spear out with my cloak open, but I kind of start to put my head down and I look myself up and down, and then I continue to look you up and down.
I'll look at myself too.
And I'm a little bit confused. It's like we're looking in a mirror. we play this little game back and forth for a little bit.
Hello, friend of nature.
Yes, definitely a friend of nature. From what I can recall, what?
Sorry, I got distracted. You're here about the vanishing. You've been vanished too?
I've been told by a man in the circus, Frug, I think his name is, told me about you wouldn't know him, would you? The traveling circus.
Do we know Frug? That sounds familiar.
So I guess Wigby, you would have been around long enough that you know that there is there's kind of like a permanent circus that is in like the west ward of Emilus. I don't know if you really would have known then. Well, I guess because the circus, yeah. So you would know like the circus is called Frugs. Hold on. I did this for a reason. This was on page 4 of this ridiculously long campaign notes. Frug's fun and friendly festival of fantastic flyers.
Oh, that's definitely me. I was the flyer. Can you tell? Totally out of character.
Yeah. So like you don't know exactly who that is, but you know like the circus is called Frug, and so when he says Frug, like that's the connection that you make.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of Frug. I've been meaning to go see his show. Of course.
I don't even know how long I was in the circus, but he went as far back as I can recollect. He explained to me the vanishing, and I felt as if I needed to figure this out, and I needed to find out more about it. Coming to the city, this is my first time in any structured place. Living in the jungles,
I know how you feel.
Remember.
That's how I felt my first time out of the swamp. You were vanished in your jungles?
I assume I was. I don't know exactly. You also were part of this vanishing?
Well, I was gonna say we all were, but the metal man, I don't think so. Maybe.
I kind of cut an eye like towards the robot. Like I don't move my head too much, but Sev, are you like behind him, or are you like? Well, either way, I'm kind of like I cut my eyes towards you, like, and I kind of got an eye on you. Like I can't trust something like this. This is totally out of my realm of trusting. Like no way. He doesn't look natural. This isn't right. There's some kind of crazy sorcery going on here that I don't accept at all.
No one has told me I was vanished.
And as Vale is coming out, he'll say, well, I sort of told you that you are vanished, but no one seems to believe me. And as he walks out and takes a look at Gus, I don't know whether or not in any of his sea travels he would have come across turtles.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like they're, yeah. I don't know if you've ever come across one, but you've certainly heard of them. I mean, they're not like, he's not like 1 in a million. I mean, he's, so yeah.
Okay.
He's instantly recognizable as a turtle, just as like you're instantly recognizable as a tabaxi, and Sev is probably the only one who may not be instantly recognizable. Like Drew's a frogman. I mean, that's instantly recognizable, right? Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt what you and your group, but it seems like we have something in common, and I want to get back to. May I go in and speak with the woman?
Ooh, well, she disappeared.
Disappeared.
She escaped again.
You were chasing her. Obviously, she was bloodied. Is she evil? Is she? I don't understand.
I would certainly say,
Shar, and Shar is evil,
But she helped us.
which makes her maybe not evil.
or less evil.
I'm getting mixed signals from all of you.
The consequence of her actions is evil.
Okay.
They
There
decided,
is-
Star?
She does evil.
they
So
did,
this. So
they
you're
did decide not to eliminate her.
elimination. Okay. All right. I think I'll stay away from this guy. So this Shar is the source of this vanishing.
As far as we know.
Yes. As much as we've been able to figure, then that is accurate.
If we follow this woman back to Shar, will I be able to regain my memories?
Maybe not.
Shar is a
Seems to be how it works.
god. I don't know that we're supposed to do that.
And I guess I'm kind of familiar with gods. Is that I mean even though I'm in the jungle, would I be familiar with Shar?
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't know about Shar. I mean, you can roll a religion check if you want to.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I think it's
Okay.
And even with the vanishing, I definitely wouldn't.
I mean, Shar is a major goddess. So, I mean, it's not that she's like one of the obscure ones, but you know, that's fine if you want to play it that way. Yeah, no idea who the Shar is.
Yeah, I have no idea. So I'm a god. Okay. Well, that makes more sense. Why that you all are in search of something so large, and so the disappearance of this woman. This leaves us at a standstill. Do we have
Well,
any leads?
We just got some more prophecy.
We got numbers.
Maybe we should.
And blood on the wall, written in perhaps as Wignet says, more prophecy, but not necessarily the same as the prophecy that we currently have. This might be from a different perspective.
I'm sorry. I'm Wigbit. What's your name?
Oh, I am Gus. You can call me.
I am Veil of the Moon. You can just call me Veil.
This
Nice.
one's Sev.
Yes, Sev, you can call me.
And I am called the Farron.
Gus, have you had any visions or knowledge of this prophecy? Any pieces you?
I know not what you speak, but I want to learn as much as I can. I would love to get my memories back. You were the first group of people that I've seen and heard of that have been speaking of this vanishing since Frug has been explaining it to me. I'm at a loss, and I really am looking for just help here. Although I don't know if you are the help I'm looking for. If you guys are looking for answers to this prophecy, will that lead us to getting our thoughts back, our memories back, figuring out this vanishing?
That is the hope, yes.
Yes, to solve
Probably the
problem
best
is our sanity.
equipped, but that doesn't mean we're well equipped to deal with the problem.
I don't.
We have an immediate threat to deal with before we.
And I look around, and obviously the city's still under siege, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear an explosion in the distance.
Yeah, so I'm like, yes, I understand the threat. If you guys wouldn't, I'm interested in leaving this city. I'm not comfortable here, but I'm afraid that I'll find answers in the.
My friend. Yes, we are leaving the city. Now, I assume you are very good with this spear that you have and this shield that you have that looks it over. Is that a shell of another
So
turtle?
as he says that, I kind of lean the shield in and I beat on it with my spear, and I show him how strong it is, and I I kind of bow before him as, I beat on it and then I bow before him like, I'm kind of at your service.
No. That is not necessary. Not necessary. But it seems like perhaps you can handle yourself.
If you have answers, what I'm saying is I wouldn't mind if you would let me join you in your search for this answer, this prophecy to find this Shar and reasons for this vanishing.
Well, my friend, I do not have the answers, but we are going to find them. So we could use another traveling companion. Yes?
Yes. It would be good to have more protection units as we head towards their army. These ones want to head towards their army. And then also this one wants to go rescue his town from a demon. And so that one wants to...
As he's speaking, I'm like looking over the rest of you, like there's noise coming from this metal thing, and I'm really confused. Like it just blows my mind. Like you can see, like I'm just totally like flabbergasted that there's voice and sound coming from him.
It's okay. They have a plan.
Yes, what he speaks is partial truth. We're not attacking the army, but we're going to go try and sever their supply lines and maybe help the city.
And impede their ability to make war on the city.
And if we are lucky, find some information while we are there. So yes, we are hunting for the truth.
Is in hunting for this truth in this Shar, the siege on this city that's going on currently, are these followers of Shar? Is this who's to blame for this?
That's part of what we are hoping to find out.
Yes.
Who and how and why they're here.
Well, I will aid you in what I can, but I can't promise that I'll stick around once I get the answers. I must get back to my jungle.
It is a very nice jungle, I assume.
The nicest. And I kind of still look at the robot man like, what? I don't understand.
Wigbit will lean in and whisper, I think he's magic. Like I kind of had the same...
Vibing.
I think he's magic.
And I kind of, I pull out like my little totem and I kind of flick it around a little bit, like to show him that I understand magic and like I can do some magic myself, but not that. Oh. But my totem's wooden, and I'm like, like this is magic. That is not magic. Like he's metal. He's not magic.
Did you say that? Because
well, I guess I kind of lean into you as you're leaning into me because obviously I trust you now, and I'm like this is magic. This wood, this nature is magic. That's evil. That's not magic.
Go take a close look. He's got wood underneath the metal.
And I kind of back up and I'm like, like not falling for that.
I assure you, there's wood in there and some tubes.
I'm just like, I put my spear up against my head and I'm kind of scratching my head like, now all these people are crazy. Like this is just, I don't understand any of these guys anymore. And I start looking at Vale and the Farron as if they're the normal ones. I'm like, okay.
You look at Farron and you finally catch his eye, and his eyes are just like scarred over entirely with cataracts.
And I'm like, I look over and I'm like, ooh. And I kind of like, it's the first time I kind of like make eyes with you in it because obviously I don't want to look at Wigbit anymore because I think he's messing with me. And I finally make eyes with the ferret and I'm like, and I kind of cringe a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, and I put my head down and I like just look at myself again. And I'm like, I have to do this even though I don't understand these people at all. Yeah. I left the circus and I joined the freak show.
You're looking for the circus?
Welcome to the freak show.
I'm going to look up to the sky, try and get a kind of a gauge of about how late it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like the equivalent of like 1 a.m, maybe 2 a.m. Like it's that kind of.
My friends, if we are going to make any sort of time and get any sort of rest, we should get going.
Whoa. I only got through the first sentence.
Yeah. So Wigman is like Tortle, like looking into the room, like.
Yes, of course. I'm just saying we should probably hurry.
And was there anything on the
We'll be
paper?
here soon.
Yeah, come on. I'll walk inside and.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
hold on. I got a quick question. Did the
go
page of numbers show up in everybody's journal?
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure I did that right, because All right, cool. Continue on.
Oh
Here's the
shit.
page of numbers.
Oh jeez.
And you can determine whether you actually looked at them or not. But Vale like brought them over, so and he said I showed them. So how much you've looked at them is up to you, but you all have them. So.
All right. Well, Sev, start running your cryptography algorithm.
A real robot.
Your GPU 07. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He just goes still and silent for a while. He's computing. He's running
Do
all
you
the
stand
algorithms.
awkwardly still, or do you kind of like
Like
are you
normal,
a bit normal
or
in your
normal
like,
movement.
yeah,
I mean, when he's not moving, he's completely still.
like statuesque and then like movement?
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird.
So before we actually go inside, like I start seeing Wigbit. I assume you're going in the door first.
oh yeah, I'm excited.
And Sev, are you right after him? Oh yeah, let's just put it this way. As soon as Wigbit starts to walk in, I start to follow him. I notice Sev isn't really moving, right? So I kind of walk up beside him and I like look at his face because he's looking forward, and I kind of tap like his shoulder arm with my spear,
thinking.
and then I assume you start moving, and I jump back.
Yeah, I just turn and look at you.
And I jump back like, whoa, okay, all right, yeah, like it's
everything's.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
It's and I kind of mumble and like walk away like okay, and I take a wide berth and try to get in the door without getting too close to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you go back in the like the little apartment, it's clearly like this was like a domicile for like 3 people. And y'all know y'all like killed 2 people in the street, and like I mean there's 3 of them, so it seems like this is obviously an appropriate place. And so again, like I call it an apartment, but you're in the North Ward, so it's a slightly better off apartment than you would find, say, in the South Ward, which maybe only Wigbit and the Farron would have actually seen that anyway. But like, so it's a higher end place, if you will. But there's like the desk, which is where she had the paper. And then this is like written on that one wall. There's a couple like washstands, but and you don't find anything like, when you just kind of look around, check the beds and things like that. You don't see anything else.
Gus, did you say that you?
Oh, I'm sorry. And sorry, one more thing that you do pick up on as you're kind of looking, especially at the wall and the veil, and maybe Wigbit would see this. The handwriting on the wall is different than what's on the paper. Like it's clear. Like it's easy to tell. Even though my fonts that I chose may not have shown that, but it's clear to tell that that it's different handwriting between the wall and the paper.
Gus, did you say that you thought this woman would have answers for you? What?
I heard you all speak of the vanishing, and you were chasing her. I assumed she had answers. Can you show me where she disappeared from? I would like to, as I'm a tracker by nature, and I know a lot about finding things, and I might be able to figure out if we could see where she disappeared from through maybe a crack in the wall or in the floor.
I mean, she was right over there, but she went through a magic door.
I will look for this magic door. So I go over to where, she disappeared. And I want to just start looking around on the floor.
Okay. Yeah.
And Wigbit's going to start reading prophecy. Quench the light of the moon whenever you find it, and hide from it when you cannot prevail. There's the moon. What's the moon bit? I start to get out my prophecy and and start comparing. And as best I can tell, so I'll read through. The dark is time to act, not wait. Obey ranking clergy as an orders of mistress of nighters. This seems like their prophecy. Do you guys think that this seems like maybe this is for the other side? This last part's the same. Darkness will enter, darkness will forget. The darkness will remain and the world will forget. That part's the same, but
So Gus, you hear Wigbit saying this, and you realize like you just glance over your shoulder, and you see like Wigbit has like these pieces of paper in his hand, which seems totally out of character for him. But he's like shuffling these papers, and he's just he's like, oh wait, that matches this right here, and so like he's like I said, it seems a little bit out of character for him, but
he's putting his intelligence of 12 to its limits right now.
So I kind of dust the floor a little bit and a little bit wherever she was, and I'm like, and I look over and I notice him shuffling with the papers, and can I hold those for you, Matt? Can I help you? You look like you're a little bit in a struggle.
Well, so there's this blue streak of moon, and then there's the towers.
This moon refers to Selune. It has to.
Right, or Milan. Doesn't he have a moon-shaped?
Quench the light of the moon wherever you find it. Hide from it if you cannot prevail. So if there's one Selune cleric around, kill them. But if there's several, then hide.
But this
ambush them.
Do you think this is for us, or this is for them? Right.
This is for them. This is not for us. These are instructions. This is not a prophecy.
So I hear you speak of them. Is this the people of the that worship the Shar?
Yeah.
Yes, the followers of Shar.
And you think this message?
Shar's army is where we need to be right now, though. We can sort this out another time, but we need to get to those siege weapons and break them.
And Vale, what was on your piece of paper?
Just some numbers. Some strange numbers. Some of them are underlined.
I'll take a look and... Whoa. That's nonsense.
Yes, agree. But sometimes nonsense.
But it could
I will say, I don't know why they actually are underlined, because they shouldn't be. I don't know why they actually got underlined.
Did not say that.
They're not underlined.
All right, that's good to know. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. All right.
Here we go. That's my signal. That's my signal.
Oh, it's go time. What the
All right.
You all are dead. You all are roll for initiative.
I think you might have missed it. I don't remember. I think we were talking about if Johnny ever goes out, that was Esco's cue to try and kill us all.
Yeah. Because again, technology, and I can't click the right button.
We were so close. I almost killed them all.
I totally clicked the wrong button there. That was actually on me. But yeah, I don't know why that they should not actually be underlined. There's nothing underlined. I don't know why they're underlined, and that aggravates me that they're underlined. But
So Sev peeks over Vale's shoulder. Those are not strange numbers. Those are normal numbers. That is full of strange numbers.
Do they make sense to you?
It's all numbers.
But numbers usually have a meaning. I mean,
I
There's
imagine
no-
this is some kind of code. Each of these numbers is probably a letter.
but they're also... That's 161. There's not 161 letters. Not in any language I know.
I think it would be good to find the repeating numbers.
Must stand for
I
something.
think that'd be good to do that another time. We need to be away.
Let me copy this down. Hold on. I'm copying down.
Of course, copy that. And then we must go.
For example, this 21 and 22 appear next to each other twice. So that could be at, of, to, be.
Are you doing this at a normal human pace, or are you like...
Yes.
And the 161, 89, 237, 51 repeat twice.
Okay, and I kind of go over to Vale, since he's like the only normal one now that, and I'm like, so this metal being seems to be of some use, and I see why you have him around now.
Yes, we just met him a few hours ago.
So you think that those first 5 numbers is like a word?
It's
Like
a
a
word.
5-letter word?
5-letter word, yes.
Yes.
And whatever the 21, 22 is, can't be common enough that it would not appear anywhere else. Because if you look at the page, 21 and 22 do not appear anywhere outside of that word.
I'm gonna let you work on this. I'm gonna keep copying.
Somebody else take this one. That's my strong suit.
And Bill will walk over again and take a look at it, seeing if his knowledge of thieves' cant can help in any way with trying to pick up an initial clue on deciphering this, assuming it is some type of code. And
You are
those
certain.
are quite fine.
You are certain it is some type of code.
Okay, that's good. All right, so thieves can't pays off again.
It did have 4 lines, right?
Yes, it did.
Now this new bit of Shar prophecy has got 4 lines. I don't know if they're possibly tied together. Does the page actually have a line on it?
What do you mean?
There's a little line between 178 to 184.
No. Sorry.
And then there's a line between it and
there's no lines. It's
all right.
Yeah, nothing should be underlined.
That's
There's
just
no
the
line.
cursor.
I realize now why it does.
The paper shouldn't look anything like it looks.
It's
the
line.
cursor and the.
See, now while y'all figure this out, I'm gonna go and make it right. So go
Yeah.
ahead, do your thing, because this is aggravating me now. Yep.
All right.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Yeah, Vale, perhaps we should just get a move on for tonight and deal with this when we can.
Agree. We can come back to it.
Can we do a quick once over and look for any other important clues, information?
Be right back, guys.
I will search the place.
Yeah. Bill look around.
Scanning.
Literally just standing in place looking.
Yeah. No, he's actually saying scanning.
Right. Exactly. But like he's not actually searching.
No.
Like moving anything. He's just standing there saying scanning.
I'm kidding. I don't scan.
But see, now they
That's a joke, right?
No, I'm quite tired. It's late. We all need some rest. I assume even you need to rest in some way.
It is helpful sometimes to be inactive.
Right, and so we will take some time to be inactive, once we are far from here.
Once we are at their army.
Johnny, do you want me to roll or did you find anything else?
No, we need to let them rest.
We are not going to fight their army tonight. We need to get away from here, maybe a few hours up the road, or towards the river, get some rest, head across for the woods, destroy supply lines.
I agree with Vale. We should exit the city as quick as possible, get into the forest, find trees.
It's not like to find trees in the forest, but we do need to find the siege weapons and destroy a couple. I would like to do that before we rest, so that after we rest we can destroy more.
You think that will be easy enough, that the army won't just come marching on us and destroy us?
If these people of Shar have siege weapons, which I assume they do, won't they be manning them? There's only 5 of us, unless you have more hidden somewhere.
Who put you in charge, Vale? Was it
Nobody. Like, is this in or out of character?
No. I'm in character. You were put in charge of this.
I
mission.
was?
Yeah, like officially.
Oh, gotcha. Well, Brainstorm it said, hey,
You are.
we could, that's right. He was, shit.
I think that's why he put Vale in charge of this one. He's going to be more. We're going to do it more his way. Sneaky like.
Yes, more of the not dying way would be preferable.
But Johnny, did I find anything?
No,
Looking around the place, turning open drawers, turning over.
no, you don't. I mean, you don't find anything else of use besides just what's on the wall and like the page, and otherwise it's fairly clean in here. So you get the impression that whoever, this group that was here probably haven't been here too long.
And then the blood, like just normal blood, nothing. Smell anything special about it? Taste weird?
It's blood. It does actually resemble blood, but I mean, it's obviously it's dried and it's not, it's not like you can really tell, hey, this is elf blood. I mean, it's clearly that it's like, there's nothing here. Yeah. So I like kill elves. But yeah, so.
So this woman that disappeared, do you think she disappeared to somewhere else in the city or somewhere outside the city?
Well, if it was the same magic that she used before, I would say somewhere in the city, but she was able to get pretty far away when she disappeared the last time. And now, after talking, I am sure she would be difficult to find. Why is it that you wanted to find her in the first place?
I assumed you guys thought she had the answers to this vanishing, so I'm pursuing her for the same reason you are.
She did not seem like she would be willing to really discuss it.
I think she's told us what she's meant to tell us.
But the question is, why was she meant to tell us? Is this a ruse?
Maybe
or perhaps is she actually trying to help for some reason?
Maybe she realized she was bad.
We can hope.
Maybe this Shar had possession of her somehow and was using her as a pawn?
But this is what gods seem to do.
Exactly.
Okay, are you done writing? Can we go now?
I'm done. I have it all. I just,
Sorry.
as I'm tasting the blood before we leave.
And I find this totally normal. I'm like, I actually nod to him and I'm like, and I kind of, reach down and like spread the blood a little bit and scratch it. As a tracker and, somebody that works with nature, I understand what he's doing.
Right.
We are, yeah, I can.
This is a completely normal party. So yeah, we head out the way Stormraven said we should.
Okay. So you exit the apartment.
Yeah.
Does anybody else do anything
Shut the door.
here, or do we all exit?
As best I can with what's left of the door.
It's like trying to prop it up in the door. Like,
Yeah.
Put a few pieces
that's
in
all right.
place.
Good enough.
It falls over and I just walk away.
So as you leave there, and he obviously he suggested that the quickest way would be to head towards Westgate, if you're going to head that way. So, if you're trying to come around from their supply lines in the rear, he suggested going out the west gate. He said if you're going to do the more direct approach, then you could go north gate, or even east gate, but west gate. So that would be the direction you would head, which you're relatively close to that because you're over here off Arison, so you're over here just so you're relatively close to it. And so as you start moving that direction, everybody make a perception roll.
Are Tortles slower?
30
No, I don't think so.
is our
normal
speed.
30.
Our speed is 30.
All right. I wasn't sure if it was a tortoise.
You said perception?
Perception roll, yeah. I thought you meant you rolled a 30. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
19, 11, 25. All right, so Sev and the Farron and Gus, you hear pretty distant, but you hear a scream. I mean, a clear, like one of those like blood curdling, like piercing the night screams.
Towards the wall or towards the city?
So it's generally in the direction that you are heading.
Okay.
So it's
So south, kind of.
Yeah. Kind of a southerly direction. Through one of these kind of back alleys. But you were sort of like, we're going to head down kind of this main street, hugging the wall to get down towards Westgate. But you hear it sort of, in this area down here.
So if the city is under siege, is this like I'm sure we're hearing normal screams, but is this a little bit?
So, and
like,
so like, and that's a good point. So the city is like not fully under siege. It's commencing a siege. So it's coming from like the north and it's spreading, east and west. And so there's like shots and things coming from, beyond the walls. And so you're not really hearing much of like, there's a general sense of people are afraid. People are not like just hanging out in the streets talking. They're obviously in their homes or they're trying to find somewhere, so they don't get hit by an explosion somewhere. And then just like right now, it's not totally like an active siege right now. It's probably soon going to be there. So hearing like a scream right now is still abnormal because there aren't people just screaming right now. Now if there's an explosion, you might hear a scream that comes after that because like one of the
So there wasn't an explosion
fired over and hit like a building.
Kind of just a scream out of nowhere.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
As soon as I hear it, I say, did you hear that?
All the explosions you hear right now are distant. They're more
North.
Up here in like the north and maybe the eastward, so that's where the general is.
Did it sound like it came from the direction of the library or the librarian?
Hang on a second.
What?
Josh had a cut.
Yeah, so I remember. So when we were, I think I remember right. When we were talking in the throne room, Bran was concerned about them having some way to spread this siege down around from where they currently were. That he didn't quite understand. Do we see any signs of that we can tell from here, like making its way around this sort of corner of the city?
No, because I mean, between the city walls and all the buildings, there's no way you can really see it.
Like the
where
guards,
you are.
like the people up on the wall aren't doing anything. We don't see like magic lights in the outside the wall.
No.
Any signs of like weird magic stuff going on out there?
No, not right now. I mean, you just see like, as I said, like the guards are holding their, you can see guards up on the wall and probably looks like there's more up there than there usually are. And, they're, weapons out, bows out, manning the walls. But beyond that, yeah, you don't see anything. The fair and answer to your question about the library is, you're actually very close to the library right now, and the scream is not from the library, but it is from a location it's from that direction.
All right.
No, I did not hear. Hear what?
What are you talking about?
The scream.
A woman's scream. I assumed everyone heard that, and I don't think it's something normal right now.
No, that is not an acceptable sound.
All right. Well, lead the way to this screen.
Well, are we playing the role of saving people, or are we trying to exit the city?
Yes.
I guess we need to make.
If we can save her quickly, then perfect. If not, then yes, we will just leave. Come on, everybody slowly run.
Okay, I'll start running that way.
He said slowly run, right?
Yeah.
Did he say slowly? I missed that part.
I'll quickly run. I'm the slowest one in the group, I think.
Yeah, like
I'll quickly run, and you guys can keep pace with me easily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vale takes off, and then he like turns around and stops and waits for y'all, and then.
Well, he doesn't know where he's going.
No, he's got to wait.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Where I'm going.
Vale runs in one direction, realizes that y'all went another direction, turns around, runs back, and catches up to y'all.
Yeah, I kind of yell at him, and I'm like, no, this way, scream this way. Follow the metal guy.
So you head down, and you actually pass like right in front of where the Farron nose is, and I think Wigbit wasn't. I don't know if Wigbit went there. The Farron knows the library that he's spent a lot of time here, and so you pass kind of right in front of it, and then you as you kind of cross over the street, you can see in the distance, you can see that there's like a body lying in the street, and you can see like a form that's like standing in the shadows, so it's really hard to tell because it is dark. You know, even with dark vision, it's an outline of a shadowy figure. And it looks, you know, it could be the figure that you've been chasing. And she's kind of standing over this figure. And so it's like she's got her hands on the corpse, clear the corpse, and then kind of raises up and sort of looks in your direction, and then she takes off. Like bolt around the corner.
Out of curiosity, how far away is she?
Just far enough you can't do anything about it.
Okay, that's fine.
That far. However far that.
That is fine.
That far.
She gets away.
That's pretty far. Hell, how far is that?
Yep.
That's
You
pretty
literally
far.
just came around the corner and you saw boom and she was gone. Yep.
Right. That is 270 feet far.
She was 271 feet away.
Wow. Wow.
But we don't know how fast she runs.
That works.
We
That's
don't
true.
know how fast.
Right. Like, yeah.
And she went like around a corner.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was part of the problem too. Is that
I want to
it's
start
not a
running
straight
towards
shot.
the corpse.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
run towards
Yeah.
the
I'm going towards the
I'll
corner.
jog towards the corpse.
I'm gonna run to the corner and see if I can see anything around it.
I want to run to the corpse and just check and double check corpse, not corpse.
Okay.
I'm with that.
The Farron, make a perception roll.
Oh no.
Excellent. This will be good.
This is no good.
That's great.
Hey.
All right.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? A plus
Yeah.
6 is just fine.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about being the librarian.
Oh.
Well, and so as you move like across the street, you do kind of look back at the library, and you can see kind of standing in the door, kind of like looking through the blinds. You can see like a familiar figure that's kind of like looking out. Clearly, she's heard like this scream that happened just across the street from where she is, and so yeah, she's kind of got like the blinds open, like looking. As you kind of glance back and you can see her.
I wave at her, relieved.
She closes the blinds. So okay, but yeah, you run up to the corpse, and the corpse, as you get up to it, is cold, and has kind of got that like almost like that shriveled up look to it, like somebody is
killed
sort
by
of, like somebody's drained it of its life force, and quite dead.
All right, I shout out to the rest of the group. I say that this kind of death isn't natural.
You feel confident in that assertion that might be, yeah.
Are you sure she's dead? The fella didn't look like that before, but he was fine.
I was dead.
She's no different than, well, yeah, she's dead.
Does she just appear to be like a common person?
Yeah. Yep.
It's okay. She's just a commoner.
She's just a commoner.
We leave.
Just a commoner.
It's fine. It's fine. Just a
Are
commoner.
there any
Don't
other
worry.
eyewitnesses around? Like anybody?
I mean, the
Like,
librarian.
if Prince Elishu or Halion were here, that would actually be what they say. But
Yeah. All right, I look over at Sev and I yell out, any signs? Because I'm assuming you're Sev, you're at the corner where she disappeared, right? Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so you get up and you're looking around the corner, and it's like another side street, and it ducks off into like several alleyways, and you don't see any more corpses, and you don't see anybody.
There are no creatures direction that I can see. There are many paths.
She's gone.
I'd like to check and see if there's any, like, if there's any wounds. I don't know if you said that I saw any, but I'd like to see what kind of wounds are on her real quick.
Okay. Make a med check.
Okay.
And then
Oh, wow.
Telling you, dude, you got to roll 20.
I know. I think that's what's going on.
I mean, a general medicine check would still reveal that, like, so you don't see any outward wounds. There's no like stab wounds. There's no
Punctures or
there's no punctures. There's no weapon damage. And you don't see any. There's no like fire damage, and there's no like icy cold damage. Although her body is very cold, and it kind of has almost has like a white pale to it as you're looking at it.
and I ask if they've seen that. Have you seen deaths like this lately?
No.
not that I can recall. Do you think we had any witnesses? Did anybody see who did this? I look around, and if we see anybody on the street, or does the Farron mention seeing the librarian?
I saw the librarian watching us.
Oh, well, maybe they saw. Where were they?
She's in the library.
Where's that?
It's right there.
Oh, okay. They're jogging that way.
It's behind you, but yeah, it's back across the street. But yeah,
Knock on the door.
so you go back to the library and knock on the door.
I don't know.
Okay, so Wigwit's going back to the library. What's everybody else doing? So he's moving back to the
I'll
library.
I look at Sev, and then I look at Wigbit, and then at Sev, and then at Wigbit. Like they're both, I'm assuming, in different directions.
Yes.
When she ran opposite of the library, correct?
Right. She kind of ran. Clearly, she ran past the library and then around the corner.
So I'm kind of looking like, what are we doing? Like we got three different options here. Now I'm looking in all these different directions. Like we were first going towards the gate. Now we're chasing a woman. We killed somebody. Now we're going into the library. Are we just hanging out? Like I'm really confused now. And meanwhile, I'm like got my hand on this corpse.
You seem to be having a difficult evening.
This is. I just want answers, and it seems like it just more questions. I don't know. Should I stay with you guys? It seems like I'm getting more questions than I have answers now.
That's normal. I shout out from the door. You in there?
Say, Wigbit, that's no way to do this. And say, yes, you'll have questions, Gus. That comes with awareness. As you gain awareness, you'll have questions.
So this is
known.
This is part of the vanishing, then.
No.
This is life having questions.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Normal. We ain't got the heavy stuff yet. This is normal.
What do you mean I'm doing it wrong, Farron? Is there a password or something?
No, you hear the door being unlocked, and the door kind of opens up, and you see a half elven woman standing there. She
Excuse me, ma'am.
she looks out at you.
What
And
happened out here?
And then, like, she's looking out. She looks at you when you say that, and she immediately looks past you and sees somebody past you. And when you say that, she doesn't seem to address you, but she says, Farron, what are you about tonight? You should be taking cover.
Say, death won't have me. You know this.
I do, yes.
Then what good is cover if you can still be seen through it? And then he looks up at the sky and behind him again.
Oh dear. Are you chasing the woman?
Yes. You saw him.
Oh, I did.
Did
Yes,
she look wounded?
she did. But then she seemed to have drawn upon whatever was in that poor soul over there, and she didn't look quite as injured anymore.
That makes sense.
We
So
think
that's
she
what
was
happened.
the
And
princess.
can I hear this? Am I close enough?
I mean, you're over. They're you know,
Oh,
100 feet away or so. So unless they're shouting, and she's not shouting.
yeah.
And the Baron doesn't really.
So I'm assuming you and Sev are kind of in one part,
We're chatting.
and then
We're
Wigman the Baron. Where's the Veil? Where's Veil?
he's with
Where's
Sev.
Veil? At this
He's
point?
been, he was with Sev,
Okay.
checking things out.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn, we should have killed her.
What you say, her? Or no, I guess you're
Right.
over by the door. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you might have heard that.
Yeah, Wigman's not quiet.
I'm not quiet.
You said that pretty loud, and I say, I hear you say that, and I say, her, the same woman that did the disappearing act that did this.
I think so.
She has the answers.
Why? Because she kills a person, she has all the answers.
Yeah, and I kind of put my head down, like, oh, I thought you guys were chasing her for answers. I'm so confused.
No, you will have to get used to questions with no answers. You should see they have meetings. They sit in big groups on cushions and just ask questions at each other.
Nature's so much easier. And I kind of ignore him a little bit, but I'm kind of like, I hear him talking, but I just mumble, nature's so much easier.
Well, thank you, ma'am, and I'll start walking away from the library toward the rest.
And so you turn around and start walking away, but she hasn't closed the door, and so she's clearly like just looking at the fair now and says, "I didn't realize you had returned to the city."
I thought that.
Hmm.
Oh no!
We just got back.
I didn't. I just came back tonight.
Oh,
I've only just returned, and I returned to this. I've met with the collectors, and Aphlis has returned. Rowan and Ravi have fallen. They were lost in the Underdark. They're gone.
So many do when they venture to the Underdark.
When he mentions
Did you-
Rowan and Ravi, I'll turn around and listen a little more. Like, oh, okay.
Did you find what you sought when you left the city?
I don't know. I gained understanding. I gained knowledge. I'm not sure. I don't think that I gained both.
Is that not always been your pursuit, though, is knowledge and understanding?
It is. I just wish the two would come together more frequently.
And now you chase this killer to bring her to justice, I'm assuming?
She has knowledge. that we need to understand. She is with Shar, but maybe we can get something more from her. She offered us information such as it were.
Shar?
Yes.
I thought that your pursuits were in different areas.
They are. But in order to pursue them, we must deal with this vanishing. The vanishing seems immediate to... It seems more immediate to people that don't understand the true nature of the threats upon us. We've been unable to impress that upon them.
So your task has changed then?
My task has expanded, it has not changed. And if I lose my sanity, then how can I possibly stand against him?
It's a fair point. Well, I've been doing a little more research, and by and by in the morning, I plan to pay a visit to Lithuania. She has also taken an interest in things that are going on.
Truly. If I'm able, I shall seek your counsel in the morning then.
Oh. I shall have a pot of coffee waiting. I do not think I will sleep much this night.
Now, he has kept me from sleep for... I don't recall sleep. This is a different thing.
Well, good luck finding whoever she is and whatever it is you need from her.
Thank you, and good luck with your pursuits as well.
Don't forget me. Come see me soon.
The next time that I'm in the city, I will.
She kind of raises an eyebrow at you when you say that.
I
Just
only
kinda-
just got here.
She kind of like, right. And she just sort of shakes her head and closes the door. All right. So while they're having that conversation.
Was that like an ex-girlfriend or something? And who's the Lithuanian? Yeah. I start interrogating.
A what?
Who's the Lithu? I could start with an L.
Lithuania.
Lithuanian.
Tell me about Lithuania.
Yeah. Is that the other girl? What's?
Yeah, and y'all have no idea who Lithuania is. Those characters who know what Lithuania
We didn't even
would
hear
be
any
are
of
all
that,
dead.
didn't we? We're on the corners having our own.
Yeah,
thing.
Val and Stefan are kind of near. I'm still.
So what are
near,
y'all doing while this conversation is going on? What are y'all doing on?
I'm kneeling near the corpse and kind of. I'm done inspecting it, and I look up at Val and I say, are we to pursue her?
I mean, we can pursue her, but for what? She would not speak. Yeah, if we want, we can take time to interrogate her, but that would take time. And as I understand it, we do not want to be here when the morning arises.
So we go for the. I still think we should head for the outside the city.
I agree. And she headed into the city, so.
And if she doesn't have answers, we're just going deeper into trouble, in my opinion.
She might, but she might not. And even if she does, she may not give them.
True.
It will certainly be less trouble to go dismantle their siege machines.
And I quizzically look at him like I'm not really familiar with siege machines, but I'm kind of I kind of see what you guys they're yeah.
I do not know what the Baron is talking about. We're not going to go fight, war machines. This is crazy.
He seems to think that we will dismantle or disable.
That's right.
I am not dying in front of an army just to take down some.
I've heard him mention it at least half a dozen times that he's wanting to dismantle these war machines, these siege machines. I'm assuming he's wanting to protect the city as is precedent over all else.
Yes, he believes that if he destroys their machines, it will stop the magical army led by the man who can freeze time from destroying the city in the morning.
And I kind of put up my hand like, okay, this guy's not making any sense. And I look over at Vale and I say, and again, these siege machines must be manned by more than one person. And
That's
again,
what I assume.
we are only 3. How are we supposed to dismantle these machines?
Well, we are 5. I mean, we are the 3 of us going to.
And I kind of point over to these 2 at the door, and I'm like, are they going in and having tea? Like, I don't know. I thought they were spending the night here.
Gus, how many fingers do you have?
I think it's like it's like a claw hand, so it's like it would be like it looks like they're not really hands. It's more of a flat claw or flat hand with claws coming out. There's like maybe 3 phalanges kind of sticking out.
Yeah, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle canon. So yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with TMNT canon. 3 fingers. Yeah. But it's more like a paddle with like claws coming out. But there's like 3 or 4 claws. They're pretty worn off. They've seen some battle.
But yes, I assume that these war machines are guarded by the army. I mean, they would not just leave them exposed. And
True. I would think if they plan on sieging a city, they would need an army and they would need men, and they would man these machines. I don't think this is a good idea. And if this is what you guys are about, I'm after answers for this vanishing. But
no, we are not about that. We are going to go see if we can disrupt their supply lines, get some more information, get some answers, or at least direction to answers, and maybe kill some followers of Shar along the way.
I will join you, but if I feel that there are answers in other routes, I must admit I might be persuaded to follow those routes.
Of course, though as far as I can tell, no one knows more about what is happening other than the ones who are doing the vanishing. So this group is about as good as you're going to get, unless you choose to be evil.
And these followers of Shar, you're assuming they know more than anyone.
It should seem so, yes.
Let's kill them all. And I stand up and I start beating my shield like, let's do this.
Wigbit even has a book.
He does. It's full of riddles. I do not understand why he has so many riddles that he likes to read.
I saw him with his papers. He seemed a bit disheveled.
He reads them a lot.
Okay, I'm a little confused because the last time I saw him with papers, it looked like he was like, I don't know that he was reading them as much as he was just mumbling and throwing them around.
Yes, that is what it looks like when he reads.
Keeping the pages in order, that's just ridiculous.
That's a bad idea.
That's obnoxious.
How could you possibly understand it if it's in order?
Why keep them in order?
I feel like that's about the time that like Wigbit, we see at the cutaway shot of like Wigbit like shrugging his shoulders at the librarian and turn around and walking away, like walking towards y'all. And so you just see Wigbit coming, and you sort of get that this is our party leader, Heroic Light. Oh, as he's walking across the street as y'all are talking about him.
A band of moonlight just follows him across.
Band of moonlight.
Yeah. Is the moon out?
Yeah.
Good.
It is. It is. Yeah, so it's,
I guess they'll probably just give up the siege then, since the moon's out.
So new
That's
prophecy says that's good.
That's right.
Bad for them, good for us.
That's right.
Heck yeah.
Somebody should have kept that moon sword.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Whoops.
All right. So are we going to just chase this woman, or can we go?
Yeah, are Baron and I coming over? Are we there?
I assume. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if y'all wait for him, yeah, eventually they're, yeah.
And did I get any answers from you, Farron,
About what?
about your history with these women?
There you go. That's another cutaway shot. Eventually, we're going. So is that like your girlfriend, like a former girlfriend or something?
What's the deal there?
Wigman has all the answers. Is that your former girlfriend or
Seemed
something?
like you got some history.
Is nothing.
Oh, you sly dog. I'll have to ask her. Wigman doesn't say that. He has no idea how coupling works.
She's just my librarian.
That's my librarian. So like a euphemism? Or...
So
Yeah, but yeah. So you gather at the you.
Yeah, and
Come
Bale
back together.
then asks.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Bale had asked, like, so are we going to chase after her, or are we finally going to leave?
And I follow that up with asking the Fern, did she have answers about what happened here?
The woman who gave us this note, she cast a spell, something like, I'm guessing vampiric touch or something like that, of that nature, to suck the health out of this person, since she was so wounded.
So
So
we
this was,
assume she's now strong. She's now stronger than when we last saw her.
she's gained some of this person's life force. Yes.
Life force?
It's
What is-
nature. It's nature. You wouldn't understand.
What-
Should
What
we
did she-
pursue her for more answers, or should we continue towards the gate?
I think that we should continue towards the gate and follow Vale's plan.
We're just gonna let her run around in the city, and I mean, does that seem right to have a follower of Shar? I don't know.
I very much doubt she's the only one.
Shit.
And she wouldn't give us answers. She wouldn't give you answers before. Who's to assume she's going to give us them if we catch her, if we can catch her?
She's erratic right now. She's helping us. She's running. She's killing.
What exactly did she take from that one?
Her energy, her life.
Which is what?
What makes her people move? Like
What?
the dead gnome you found. Its life was gone. Life.
Blood?
No.
What?
But yes.
Their vital energy.
What is that made of? Energy like electricity or fire, lightning or fire or
More like lightning or fire.
lightning. You stole her lightning.
No. Just her life.
Her life.
How do you take someone's life?
Or is there any kind of plant life around at all within, like, really quick?
Yeah, I mean, there's like, small bushes and.
Okay, as he's speaking, I kind of go over to the bushes and I get like a twig with a few leaves on it that are alive,
Mhm.
and I hold them up, and I say life, and then as I pick them off, I drop them on the ground and kind of squish them a little bit, and I say life gone, and I drop the twig with no leaves on it.
And you took, what did you take from it?
Life.
Where did it go?
And I kind of get my hoof or my paw or whatever a turtle has. I don't know, foot, and I kind of grind leaves into like just a pulp.
Can we discuss this on our
Yes.
travel?
Why don't we talk about this elsewhere?
So it's,
Yeah, this is no time to call a council.
it's
Sev,
in
what makes you go, Sev?
We must be away. This is not time for council.
Yeah, as I start walking towards the gate,
Okay.
and we're going that way.
Okay. So we start proceeding towards the gate, but we're having a discussion about
Yeah,
life.
I
Continue.
my head.
Please continue the conversation, though.
Sev, what makes you go?
what makes me go.
Yeah,
Something inside.
life force.
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, me either.
What makes you go?
The life force
Where do you get it?
inside.
How do you run out?
Oh well, you sleep and eat, and
Oh, I don't
Breathe.
do this.
well, when do you run out?
Some, after doing many things,
Me too.
but you get more by sleeping or eating or
Breathing.
breathing. So it comes from air or food or
Right. Where do you get your energy from? You like get it from the sun or something?
no, somewhere inside.
Oh, cool.
And I say like us, we have something inside, and I like gesture back to the corpse, and I say, and her something inside was taken.
And you can't put more, but you put something inside to get more, but she can't because
And I conjure up a good berry, and I say, well, sometimes you can, but she is far past what we can do.
yes, I've seen lots of humans run out of life force.
Then what is this confusion?
Well, I don't understand how one takes it from another.
You poke holes in them.
You're
I understand how you make it so that it doesn't work anymore. But I don't understand how you take.
Oh, magic. Yeah, no. That's evil magic.
You can disrupt it with. You can disrupt the life force with a knife. You can also disrupt it with magic. And magic you can use to steal some of that life.
And unnatural magic. And I kind of start walking towards the gate, like I'm very, very upset that this person is stealing someone's life.
But you don't. Have, but you don't have to take their blood or anything.
No, you can magically force their life into you without the need of anything.
That is strange.
Force of your will and your power.
That is very strange. Usually I've seen humans die when you let too much blood out.
I don't think it's their choice that they're letting too much blood out. I think what happens is someone else lets their blood out.
That is the best way, Sev. Yes.
Yeah, but it happens. It happens.
But usually they just let it go. They don't do anything with it.
You could also make them stop breathing.
Yes.
That works.
Yes.
Some
Make them
say
stop
if you
eating.
drink the blood of your first kill, it
slower.
makes you stronger.
But that would be like what she did, except with the blood.
Magically. There's no tangible blood passing from one to another. It's, I guess, what would be her essence taken from her and used to invigorate the caster.
Yes.
You let their blood out, you can stop their air, you stop their food.
That's slow.
Magically
Takes a long time.
So you magically steal it.
And obviously, a more powerful being can do this quicker like she did. Because she was 271 feet away before we knew what happened.
So you can also.
Might have been 272. You're not entirely sure at that distance.
Give or take.
Give or
We didn't
take.
count it.
Give or take a minute. Yeah.
Seb, I've seen a number of former companions lose their brains as well.
Yes, that seems effective.
On the next episode of 1,000 Ways to Die.
I bring that one up for Josh in particular. That's why this character is here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why a number of his characters.
I got
have
a lot
come
of brains eaten.
in the Underdark.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? 4?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Oh, my goodness.
Four
I had
brains.
4 brains eaten. So now I don't have one.
Right.
As he says that, I kind of bring my head back, kind of down into my shell. You know, and I cover my head with my shield, and I just keep walking. I'm like,
Are we getting to the gate?
Yeah.
I was enjoying the.
No. Yeah.
Val's like, hopefully this ends soon.
Well, no. As we get to the gate, Vale will say, "All right, this has been an interesting conversation, but we're going to need to move quickly and quiet. And we are ready."
I'm ready.
Yeah, so as we approach the gate, are there obviously guards guarding the gate? Like,
yeah. So as you kind of round the corner, up in here somewhere, and you can see the gate kind of in the distance, and the gates are shut, and you see there's like 2 guards that are like in front, and obviously there's people on top, but they're all kind of facing outward right now. But you can see that there's just a couple guards that are standing there, there on the west road. Obviously it's middle of night, morning, and nobody's coming in or out.
Didn't Stormraven tell us how to get out?
Yeah.
I thought there was another, what was it, just the west gate?
He told you more about once you get out.
Okay, got it.
Go around this way. This is
He
where
didn't
all
have
the-
any he just said once you get out of the city, go do this thing. Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Are we hearing? Is that to everybody? Is that to me?
What?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to see that. Yeah.
Does that?
I don't know.
all right. So
are you guys hearing that?
The Farron's shaking his head. So yes, I heard that.
Is that voice a recognizable voice?
It's telepathic, so you can't. It's not like it doesn't have like a specific sound or anything to it.
I don't understand. You're hearing things. I'm usually pretty perceptive.
I think it's in my head.
And I cover my head again and take my head down inside my shell, and I'm like, I need.
I'll try and respond back. Who is this? In my head.
It doesn't really go that way. So yeah, you see, I've come around like the corner. The gates, just over there, and I think Wigwit and the Farron have kind of like stopped.
Oh yeah, we're
like Farron's like shaking his head, and but yeah, otherwise that's what everybody. I mean, Gus like ducks his head back into his shell.
Yeah, once he says that, I kind of stop, and I'm like, "What? Am I supposed to be hearing something?" And I kind of cover my head with my shield, and I'm like just looking around. I stop.
Yeah, Vale stop.
I heard you will not find answers outside the city.
And most likely die along with your friends to Shar's darkness.
Yeah.
Who's assuming you guys are my friends?
Yes, who is this that is contacting?
I didn't hear this.
Do you think it's the elf or half elf?
I think it's the woman.
Maybe.
You're saying a woman is speaking to you, and I'm continuing to hold my shell over my head and kind of look around like I don't see a woman.
Vale, you didn't hear anything?
I did not.
Is it the woman that we're chasing?
Why just...
We're just guessing. It's a telepathic voice. It's impossible to tell who it is. It's just a voice. He
I've
wasn't
had
threatening enough to be him.
I've had plants and animals speak to me before, and it comes to me in my head without seeing a voice. Is this what you're hearing?
Yeah, something
Something like that, yeah.
like that. Yeah, look around and see if anybody's making weird eye contact, of course.
Yeah, so I look out, you know, and I realize we're probably too far away from the guards to see their faces, correct?
Yeah, I mean, one of them like has a helm on, so you can't really see their face anyway. But then the other one is, you know, just standing there, and I mean, they're standing on guard. You can tell.
But I mean,
know,
are they like
they're
looking at us like they're talking to us?
No.
Okay.
In fact, they may have seen you, like glanced over and seen you, but I mean, you know, it's not against the law to be walking in the streets. You know,
Yeah.
it's a little odd, but you know, so they probably noticed you, and then it's clear that they may have like one side eye on you, but they're not necessarily like
None of them
doing anything.
None of them look female or look like they're trying to talk to us. Then.
No.
Okay, so I'm looking and I'm like, I don't think it's any of the guards. I think you are hearing things.
We are hearing things, you're right. We're hearing a threat upon us.
Or is it a warning?
Depends on who is saying it.
Right, if it's the woman, then I think that would be advice.
Or it could be both a threat and a warning.
Just before she did the disappearing act, did she mention wanting to help you all or wanting to hurt you all?
No.
No.
Neither.
I asked, but she
hesitated
and didn't answer.
There was a hesitation and she didn't hurt you.
Patrons.
So what? We stay here and chase after shadows?
Again,
I thought once we got out of the Underdark, it'd be out of my head. Well, I guess once I got out of the Underdark. Sorry, none of you. None of you were there with me. Once I got out of the Underdark, they'd be out of my head.
So if you are looking for answers, and the answers come from operatives of Shar, and you know of this old elf and this woman, for sure, and perhaps there are more operatives of Shar in the city, then maybe you should be looking for one of these Shar followers. And perhaps the city is the better place to find one.
if anything, this steel machine seems logical.
I just don't like other people telling my head what to do.
So we're just going to stay in the city under siege.
So all of a sudden, as Vale says that, you see one of the guards go, "Ah!" And then he turns around and he starts running towards you. And he's not within like one round. I mean, he's far enough away that but he's running towards you, and he's the one without the helm on. And you can see he's got this like maddened look in his eye as he's running.
All right, I'm gonna run toward where he's running from.
And I'll run ahead of him and make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah, as you're running past me, you see there's these little insects crawling out of my skin.
Nice. You've seen this before.
Okay, so Vale and the Baron are taking off in the direction of the gate.
Okay.
What are the other three doing?
All right. So I see this guy. He's running towards us, obviously in pain.
Yeah, I mean, he screamed in pain, like he runs towards you. He's got the wide-eyed look, and is
he bearing a weapon or?
So I mean, he had like his sword in his hand because he was like on active duty, and as soon as that happened, he dropped his sword and like he grabbed his head and like he just started running towards you. So it's the long sword clangs off the ground, and he's running towards you.
Is he looking past us or at us? Or can we not tell?
It's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to use your action to insight him, you can. But that would be like standing here this round and just looking at him.
I'm gonna start running again, like Farron and Vale, towards him and past him.
Okay.
I'm gonna move and just be looking around. Perception, I assume, but not like running. Just like, what is going on here? Yeah.
And what is Sev doing?
I'm just staying put where I am.
Perfectly still.
Yes.
Waiting for orders.
Why are you all running? What are you doing?
Something happened to his brain.
And this was a guard at the gate, or near. Okay, not up on the wall.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be bad if it was a guy on the wall. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He ran off.
Did you help his brain?
No.
And I yell back, he's holding on to his brain. Something's wrong.
Yes, something is wrong.
Because he's holding on to his head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding onto his brain.
Yeah. And so the y'all that run by him, y'all run by him, and he doesn't stop to like do anything aggressive.
I was running to him.
Oh, you're running to him. Okay.
I was running ahead of the Farron.
To run to him. I thought you were running past him. Okay. Yeah.
I was running past him. I wanted to go to where he first started screaming.
Okay. So the Vale, you'll get to him first then. And he's not like gonna slow down if you're in his path. Like he's either gonna move through you or he's gonna move around you. So I don't know what you're planning to do.
I'll jog slowly beside him and ask him.
So awkward.
I mean, it's like the speed that Vale runs. It's like jogging with a child, right? Like
so you run at him and then you do a complete U-turn and you're running.
And then I'm just doing a real light jog beside him as he runs. What is happening? Why? What is in your head?
The whispers. And about that time, he stops running. Like he's kind of stopped, and he's the whispers. Oh, they hurt. Oh. And he kind of blinks away, and he reaches up and he like does this, and he's got like blood smeared coming out of his nose. He's like, what was that? And, like he's turning around, and so Gus, you run by him.
Yeah, I'm running to where he first started screaming, and I want to like look around.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Wow.
Oh, you're gonna make me roll a die now? Dang it! All right. I was really hoping you're gonna roll high enough. And
I know my perception. I tried.
Oh, well, there we go. I rolled poorly. All right. So underneath like the eaves of like an adjoining building, not from where y'all came out, but like on another street that kind of meets here at the gate, you can see there is clearly a female standing there, and she looks like she's within 60 feet of the gate as she's standing there. So you kind of come out, into that. So it's like a little bit of an open square right in front of the gate. And so you come into that open square, and you can see her across the square, and she's standing under a building, sort of in the darkness of the building, sort of out of the moonlight. Within 60 feet, she's 52 feet away from you. Call it 50 feet away from you.
I like that.
Yeah, and so I know the Farron, you were moving. Were you moving towards him, or were you moving towards where Gus was moving?
I was moving toward the gate.
Okay.
Where he was running from, and looking around.
Okay. As long as you can roll a 6 on your perception. you'll notice her as well. Wigbit, the same thing if you're moving in that way, that direction.
Oh, that's my plus. So yeah, I've got that.
All right. Well,
go.
that's good. That's good. It's good to have a +6.
Barely.
Both of you.
Yikes.
Do it. Dark out. Come on, guys.
What's that?
It's dark out. That's why it's hard.
Dark is irrelevant.
Well, yeah. So you see a familiar figure. I mean, it definitely, to the two of you, it looks the same. She looks the same as the one that you saw in the building, the one that talked to you for a second. And she's standing there, and she appears to have just done something.
All right, I want to. And you said she's within 50 feet.
Yeah.
All right. As soon as I see her, I want to cast conjure animals, and I'm going to conjure 4 constrictor snakes to hold on to her and keep her in place.
Conjure animals.
That's a good one. I was looking at that today.
Y'all didn't tell Espo that all the druids in the world were dead, did y'all?
I mentioned it.
Oh man, one got away.
All the
Yep.
monks are dead too, right?
Yep.
Right. I thought that was a thing too, but yeah.
All right,
So
so
4
I think.
constrictors. Friendly to you, Roland.
I mean, I could conjure 8, I guess,
A lot of snakes.
and that's just it at a low
What's up
level.
with all these snakes in the eaves?
Yeah, they come
Dropping out of the
down.
eaves onto her.
The building she's in. So as soon as I see her, I kind of point my spear up at her, and
Yeah.
I conjure 8 constrictor snakes to kind of drop down from the eave on top of her.
Okay. All right.
Guys.
Surprise
All right. Yeah. So they will land on her. Technically, according to the spell, they still have to roll an initiative, which we're not really. So let's do this because she already cast. Let's roll her initiative versus Snake's initiative, and if the Snake's initiative goes before her, they'll do something before her.
Okay.
Probably had
I didn't roll her initiative.
snakes. And the mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes in the eaves.
Snakes and Eve. Yeah. So Wigbit and Farron, you see all of a sudden these snakes appear and
On the eaves.
drop on her, and she like jumps back. And what do you command the snakes to do?
Constrict her and restrain her.
For there.
So you're taking the constrictor snakes straight from the monster manual, right?
Yeah. So it'll be.
So you're trying to grapple. You're trying to grapple her. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it'll be so basically it's a constrict. So they let me see. It'll be +4 to hit.
Yep.
And then if they hit, it's 1d8
Target
plus
grappled.
2, and then she takes bludgeoning damage, and the target's grappled, and they have to make a DC of 14.
Okay. Do you want to? So they are large creatures. So I don't think all 8 of them are necessarily going to be able to.
Yeah, we'll say a few. I mean, you do it how you want. If
Yeah.
a few of them fall off the E, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, they're giant. They're probably like this big around.
Wait, a regular? There's giant and there's regular. There's two
Right.
types. The
They're
giant
large.
are large.
They're
Right.
large. The constrictor snake is
A
large.
regular constrictor snake is large.
Mhm.
Yeah, regular
Man, how
constrictor
big
is
is a
large.
giant constrictor?
A giant one is huge. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I will say is that we'll say like 4 of them get to attack, but because all of them are falling on her, they're all going to get advantage on the attack.
Okay.
Because she's not expecting snakes to fall from the eaves of the building onto her. So she's clearly caught off guard here. Do you want to roll the attacks for your friendly snake friends?
All right. That's up to you. If you want me to, I can.
I don't care. You can do it if you want to.
Okay.
I hate killing myself, so I'll let you do it.
So I'll just roll 4. You want me to roll 4 times, or if they have an advantage? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so you can roll with advantage. So 15 actually is the number. So, if that's 1 attack, so it's a hit.
Okay. And then I'll just roll once. If it hits, I won't roll for advantage then, if you want to do it that way.
I mean, you can unless you crit them, unless you crit her. So the first one hit, the second one missed.
Okay.
Third one.
Are you guys seeing things? What do you?
It's I'm sending them just to John.
Oh,
Johnny.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I see them. They're cool.
It is a lot of numbers, and I didn't want to flood. I realized that the spell flooded chat, so I was like, no, I'm not flooding.
That's fine.
Oh, I like this.
Oh no, that's fine.
We often flood the chat.
All right, so the third one hit. So 1 and 3 hit, and then the fourth one.
Man, you should have just gotten a rhinoceros.
In the eaves, just crunch,
One more roll.
just brings the whole house down.
So we got one more roll coming.
One more roll, yeah, because that was a 12.
Yeah.
But that's 21. So 3 of the 4 of them are going to hit her.
Okay.
So that's so each one is a D8 plus 2.
Mhm.
So I guess 3D8 plus 6 if you want to roll it all as one.
can you be triple grappled?
grapple.
Just
Like, do you have to
pulled
break
apart.
each one, or is
Well,
it just,
so
you
I
can only
think
have one status effect of it? Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. We've never.
I'll leave that up to you, Johnny. I'm assuming it's 3 snakes that are grappling her at the same time. So would it just be 3 DC checks, or like? I'll leave that.
You can't be like triple stunned, I know, right? It's just like you're just
Right.
stunned, but
Yeah,
triple
I mean, I
grapple.
think she's
I think that's different. I think
So
you
that's
can
the first hit, Johnny.
multiple people could have a hold on you.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Second
All
hit,
right. Okay.
and then third hit.
So was that 21?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a funny number.
Oh, geez. Let me guess. She had 22 hit points.
Or did she have 21?
So yeah, so the snakes like drop down and they wrap themselves around her and start to constrict her, and then like the last one like wrapped around her and pulls, and she goes limp. And so
Okay.
now the snake is like got her wrapped up. Yeah,
So she's grappled.
she's grappled and unconscious as it would be.
All right. So
She actually had 21 hit points.
is this a balcony?
It's just like the eave like of a roof.
And she's on ground level?
Yeah, so she's standing like kind of against the wall of this building underneath this like overhanging roof.
Okay. But what I'm saying is like, so she's not standing on the roof. She's under it at my level.
Yeah, she's on the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see her on the ground. So I run over towards her.
Okay. All right. So that's yeah. So some snakes appeared and she fell down. What is everybody else doing?
We
If
saw
anything.
her drop.
I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can from our position.
Yeah. So Farron and Wigby, you see her.
All right, I'm gonna hurry over to her,
Okay.
and when I get to her, I'm going to cast Spare the Dying on her immediately.
Okay.
So everyone, I see
Head
everyone
over there
running.
as well.
And then once I cast that on her, then I'll check her vitals.
Yeah, once I see everyone running around the corner for no reason, I guess I'll go to the corner too.
Yeah, assuming I see
Yeah.
that, I'll look over.
Is it for no reason though?
What?
If everyone's running around the corner, is it for no reason though?
This is true. This is true.
I'll find
If all
out.
your friends jump off
Yeah.
a bridge, would you jump off the bridge?
No,
And you-
Yeah, I'm not letting them go.
Yeah, I mean,
to be a reason.
meat
I mean-
brains are illogical.
And I would say you probably heard like a little shriek too. You know, as these giant snakes just appeared over her head and dropped on her. You probably, you probably heard like a little, and then
There are
like,
4 other snakes around too.
well, yeah.
but
Dude,
they-
she's yeah, that's true. The Farron, when you run up,
I don't get
she's
super close.
she's kind of lying in like a pool of snakes right now, which to me is like that's my nightmare. So
I mean, how many-
but yeah,
Large snake.
8 times 4. We got 32 square feet of snake right now.
A
yeah.
lot of snake.
Yeah, and they're obviously yeah, as it says, they are under the whim of whatever Gus tells them to do. Right now they're just trying to like constrict this creature that one of them has. So they're almost sort of like fighting over like who's going to constrict the creature, because that was like the last order they were given was constrict that creature. So they're all like, there's like a.
Yeah,
So-
I'll approach
sort
with
of-
caution as I get closer. Like,
Yeah, so
I'm ready
as-
for one of these things to bite me.
As Sev starts, walking towards me, I kind of turn and I eyeball him, and then I eyeball
Oh,
the snakes,
God, here
and
we
then
go.
I eyeball him, and I kind of motion for the snakes to like, because they're big. I mean, it'd be tough for him, to walk through. It'd be tough for anybody, but especially a machine. So I kind of motion for them to give wake and kind of allow everybody through.
Okay. Yeah. So we spare the dying. So the other guard, when all of this is happening, weapons raised, and he sort of like takes a defensive position, but he starts calling out, and so he's clearly calling, and so y'all can see and hear there's people on the wall that are other guards that are like turning around, and you see some bows like being trained, but they don't really. I mean, it's dark. They have there's some stuff going on over there, so they're just kind of aiming in the dark, and you hear a lot of conversation and orders and things going on, like, well, what is it, and so there's that kind of commotion going on right now, and he's calling out what's going on. Hang on one second.
So Farron, I look over at you and I say thank you. I didn't know if my healing would bring her back from this unconscious state, and I really need to speak with her, because I'm assuming that you're spared the dying. Kind of like, what's her state right now? Like, is she conscious? Like, what?
She's literally at 0 hit points, but she's stable. because of spare the dying.
Okay, and would I notice that? I would know that like he brought her to stable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I thank him.
Yeah. You can tell she's got a lot of wounds.
So we need to get her to the Citadel. If we get her to an unfamiliar location, she won't be able to teleport out of it using that spell.
And perhaps Ephelis has some way to keep her from using such magics.
This Citadel, will it allow her to use this disappearing act again?
Perhaps not.
If there's a place that will impede it, it is there.
Can we keep her stable till we get her there?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
All
think that should we not question her? I don't know, that we take her back here, that could cause problems for either side.
What's this?
Well, I don't know. If we bring her in, that could be bad for us, or we could be bad for her.
Or we might not get the answers we're seeking, because she is in King's domain.
Maybe we could find a nice quiet spot and I don't know. How do you prevent her from disappearing again?
I mean, with that spell, it's limited.
Do you have to can you bind her hands? Can she still do it if you...
Anybody know how to dimension door?
Do you
That character left.
tie up her, gag her and bind her? I mean, she shouldn't be able to do it, right?
Can
Let's
I
go
do
find.
a check or something to see if I understand how Dimension Door works?
I mean, if you don't have the spell, it's not really one you. I mean,
Yeah. So knowing spell casting and everything, I kind of, I'm like, if we can I can keep my snake on her and not allowing her to speak or use her hands.
If she
might-
can't speak, then she can't speak to us.
Well, and until we get her, you say the Citadel will not allow her to dimension door, or I'm sorry, not dimension door, disappear.
I think Ephelis could keep her from doing that. Yes.
But I don't know if we should take her there.
He's a friend.
Well, what if we take her to Ephelis, not to the Citadel? Whether that is somewhere else in the city or just Ephelis, not really bringing in the guards and such.
We could take her to the room of collection. No,
No, that seems like a bad idea.
that is definitely a bad idea. We could take her to the stalls where people who suffer from the vanishing go.
I thought she was talking in your mind.
She did that.
Could have been her. Makes sense.
Stopping her from speaking won't stop her from speaking in your mind, will it?
We need her information. I just don't know that taking her into the Citadel is.
So y'all are standing here having this conversation over this like comatose woman with all these snakes about, right? And so these two guards, one who's like kind of like got the blood coming out of his nose a little bit, like, and he's got his weapon back in hand now. They've walked over to you and they're like looking at you like, what? I mean, you know, they seem like they're aggravated, like they're gonna, but at the same time, they seem to be looking at you like, I don't know if it's the best idea to try to take on 4 or 5 plus some snakes. So they're all, you know, they kind of get that look of, but they're, you know, what is going on here?
Oh, my friends.
Do not worry,
My friends.
protection units. I work for
do not.
I work for Brand Stormraven.
Yes, and we are collecting this woman who has been making some trouble.
The blood on your nose. This is the woman that was responsible.
Right. So we are going to take her in.
You're gonna arrest her.
Yes.
Yes.
You have the authority to do so.
I'm a
yes.
collector.
We work for Brand Stormraven. Admiral
I mean-
Stormraven.
We are all collectors, except that one. Pointing. Yes. That one is not yet.
So there's 2 guards.
Yeah.
Either of you can either of you stop magic?
Well,
Can either of you keep from this woman stealing your brains?
well,
Then leave us. We need to take care of this.
they kind of look at each other.
Yes, friends, we will take care of this. And the
alright.
snakes. Don't worry. They will not harm you, I do not think.
Pick up your whatever and you move along.
Of course. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the siege.
Tell the admiral we're doing our job.
Good
over
job.
here.
Yes,
Thank you.
very well.
And they sort of like step back. They're still looking at you, but they kind of step back. You know,
This Ephesus, will he be able to get answers out of this woman without allowing her to disappear again?
If someone can, he can.
Then I say we seek him out and get her to them. My
Bill will
snake-
start to pick her up.
Well, I can use my snakes to kind of carry her. They can slither along while they're constricting her and keep her.
It may be.
I don't know that bringing the snakes through the city would be a good idea.
Like we're
Then
just-
again,
See, again, I'm used to like being in the jungle.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
we're
these
just-
snakes, you know, they just
transport
follow me
people via
around. This
snake.
is what we do.
we need a less conspicuous way to move them. And Vale's idea of picking her up is a better one.
yes,
I
because
got
the
it.
snakes are very nice. I like them actually quite a lot, but
So
I think
as-
they might scare some people as we go.
well,
As
but you
I
also
did-
recognize it is the middle of the night, and I mean there hasn't been a ton of people that are out here, so.
But it's
but
also giant snakes. Like
Yeah.
that's not
As
what you wanna
I look
really risk.
around, I notice
I'm
there's
definitely afraid just talking about it as the GM because I don't do snakes. So like I'm okay with the snakes not being in the city, but I'm just saying like.
So I noticed the uncertainty. Everybody's kind of like, these snakes are unusual. Like, I'm used to this. Like, this is
Right.
just normal life for me. I bring animals in, they do my job.
Right. Yeah.
And then, so I start to look around and I'm like, and I see Vale is interested in it. He's able to do it. And Farron, you believe we can do this without the snakes? Because I agree, they would seem to be out of place here as I'm looking around and all the stone and, you know, there's not trees or anything.
Now, there's not much that would be out of place at this point.
And I look over at Seb and I'm like shaking my head. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, last night a brain fell out of the sky, and or was that earlier this evening?
That was earlier this
well,
week.
That was earlier
I
this
mean,
evening.
it was the same night. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Earlier tonight.
technically it's morning now, but yeah, it was the same. Yeah.
Vale, you can handle this, and Farron, you're certain that she will not be rendered conscious again before we reach Ephesus.
I'm certain that if she is, then we can remedy it.
Okay, and I snap my fingers and the snakes are gone.
Oh,
Vale will pick her up and
Was someone
Fire-
disappointed?
fireman
Did I hear it? Did I hear? Oh,
There was like this
Yeah.
little rat that was running out, and your snake was about to jump on it, and then it vanished.
There we
The
go.
rat just like
There
looks
we
at you
go.
like ah, like scurries on into the building. You're like ah.
And I kind of wink at the rat like, "You made it this time, buddy."
All right, so we hoist her onto a shoulder, is what it sounds like,
Yep.
and
off to the
it's spelled druids.
Yeah.
Druids. Yeah.
Druids.
Not
Yeah,
druids.
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 Druds, man, druds.
Druds.
That is a
the-
good spell.
All the,
And I think there's one above it that is even more awesome.
well,
Really?
I was like, how can I restrain her? I was like, well, I'm in the jungle. I use animals all the time for doing
Right.
stuff. I was like, snakes, and I was like, oh man, they're kind of big.
Snakes in a plate.
Snakes on a roof. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll head off to Ephesus.
Okay. So so you and they all head back up to the Citadel. All right. So you get up to. Hold on. Let me roll. There's no way I'm gonna roll an 01. Because that would be crazy if I rolled an 01. Okay, all right, 72. All right.
do we
yeah.
hit a boulder if that happens?
So, I mean, I'm just saying, there's no way I'm going to roll an 01. But you do hear another, like, something, a crashing sound in the distance. But yeah, so you head back up, back past the library, back past some familiar looking buildings to at least one or two of you, and you head back to the gates of the Citadel. So you get back, and when you get back to the gates, the guards are standing there and they're looking at you like, well, you just and then they just kind of open the gates for four of you, but then when they see this this other fellow, they kind of stop, and he is
with us.
He's with us.
Sev, you're supposed to say it too.
He's not a collector.
Sev, he's with us.
But he is,
and then, so
he is with us.
they look at each other like, wait, what?
He is with us, though, but is not a collector.
That is correct.
Whatever. Just come on in.
And I kind of nod to him as I go by, like, thank you.
Yeah. And they're looking at Wigman and Farron especially, like, and then they look at Vale. And then, like, as you're walking away, like, we get like that shot of like them two talking to each other, like, this just gets weirder and weirder as like the hours pass.
Not even days, it's hours.
It's out. Yeah, it literally is hours right now. Yeah. So you hang a right. I'm assuming you said you were heading towards the building. So you head over to this building over here, and you get to the door and you open the door, and there's. So where are y'all going when y'all get into the building? Like, what's the objective?
I mean, I assume, yeah, I guess Vale would be taking her to the cells.
Okay.
Where do we think Ephesus would be?
Wasn't
in
he
the
going
room.
to research in his...
Well, get him.
I can go get him.
I will meet you at the jails. Not a place I usually try to go.
I'll run down and
We're just getting weird.
to the
Okay.
room of collection and see if I can.
Yeah,
Fine.
and I stay with Vale, and I'm close eyes on the woman because she obviously has answers that I want.
Okay. Yeah, so you go down this long passageway, and then you enter like this sort of outer foyer area. It's fairly big, and there's several passageways and doors off from it. But you follow Vale off to one side, and he opens a door, and he goes in, and it's not a real far way down, and then it's clear like this is like a holding area of some kind. Wigman, you go to the room of collection, and Does Wigmet remember what to say?
The doll does. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Oh, yes, that's right. I love the doll so much. And sure enough, yeah, the door opens and he's sitting in there and he's got like stuff just strewn about and he looks up at you and
Situation's changed a bit.
it's been an hour.
Yeah, we got some new.
We need a
information,
secure location to keep a prisoner.
Oh, good God. He just stands up and like grabs his staff and he like, just where are we going? And he just.
Bill's taking her to the cell.
Cells.
Her.
She's a follower of Shar, I believe. But
I thought we were supposed to be killing these people.
Well, but she was trying to help us, I think. She gave us this, well, Vale has the note, I think. And also, she had some more prophecy, and I get out my papers, and I start putting them in front of his face. And you see this part here about, I think this, I start spouting off theories, and yeah. And there's these numbers, and they think there were, and I'm just kind of going as we're walking down the hall, however much information I can get in, and however long it
So
takes.
as soon as you pull out like new words, Ephesus immediately like his head goes like, I want to look at this, and he like starts reading what is there. And I'm gonna have him roll this roll, right? How well does he do this one? Oh yeah, he does that one pretty well.
Shocking.
Oh, they rolled a 2. That's not very good.
Ooh. But then I aid him.
Do you?
No, I hinder.
That's why he rolled a 2.
Sure, I'm walking. You're like, hey, look at this. Look at this.
He was onto it, and then my theories kept, getting in the way.
He's like, I'll look at it later.
Before you get too far into your book, sir, you should probably know that you have a faulty protection unit at the west gate.
I love it.
You should swap that one out. It's got blood coming out its nose.
I'll speak to Bran about that.
Yes, good.
And he goes to the y'all lead him, or he leads you to the cells, and so when he got to seize Vale, and he's like, oh, so this is a follower of Shar, huh?
And I look up and I say, I'm not a follower of Shar.
Right, and then he didn't seem to notice you at first because he was like focused on the follower, and it seems like he like, oh,
not me.
Yes, no, this is Gus. He found us. We found him. He has been banished as well, and he was going to help us. He has been actually helping us, but we were going to leave, and here we are.
I thought I was helping. I didn't intend to render the woman unconscious. I get. I'm not used to, it's just snakes.
It sounds about right, actually. He kind of nods and
But she has done quite a disappearing act. A couple of times this evening. We thought perhaps you would have some way to keep her still.
So why did we keep her?
And she also took the life force, whatever that is, out of someone. Another human. She took its life force and made it hers. But not food or blood.
The shiny guy's correct. She has some sort of unnatural magic that she uses to take life from others and feed her own. And we were hoping that you would have a way to keep her from doing that and to keep her from disappearing so we could interrogate her.
Because she seemed to want us to catch her.
Yeah, she did.
She provided us, and he'll grab out the paper and hand it to us. She provided this to us for some reason. Obviously, it was in some type of.
Those are the numbers I was telling you about that they think are words.
They're positions.
Positions.
Yeah.
What?
Theories on that?
Hmm?
Positions of
I
what?
thought they were letters.
They are, but they're all different numbers. There's hardly any repeating numbers
There are
in
some.
the whole thing.
And by the way, since Gus, Ephesus, by the way, is an elf. He's dressed in. Hold on, I know what he's dressed in. Why I write things down. He's dressed in. He's wearing a. He's got obviously a cloak on, and he carries his staff with him. It's a golden staff, I believe, or it's a silver staff. It's one of those things. And he's got like a faint bluish tint to his skin, and he's clearly a high elf. Which I don't know if that means anything to Gus, honestly, but yeah, he's an elf kind of some kind. And actually, I'll put that back up on the screen.
Okay, thanks.
There it is. Yeah.
I mean,
We are running the street, so yeah. There. But yeah, so he kind of looks and he says, well, we can certainly restrain her, but I'm a little confused. She said she could help you, but she's a follower of Shar. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't.
And why? Why? And he's like looking at the numbers. I don't know what this is.
They're positions.
What do you mean?
You have to be a little more specific.
Mike and I start working.
I think that that's a code based on what was written on the wall.
Yes, but I do not know that there are enough letters for what was written on the wall to match up with the numbers we are seeing.
I've counted 81 so far. Just give me a minute.
You need to get to 185 or 205.
Yes.
Farron pulls out his pocket calculator.
Gets out his abacus.
I'm up to
Yeah.
110.
Says, I thought that you were heading out of the city to do some destruction.
So did I. Apparently, we are here now, and she seems to think that we have more important things to do here.
Why would a follower of Shar want to provide us information about this?
Excellent question.
Right as we were about to leave, she spoke in both the Farron and mine's mind. She said, or I think it was her. She said we will not find answers outside. You already told him?
No, I did not.
No. You will not find answers outside the city, and most likely die along with your friends to Shar's darkness. It's kind of a warning, kind of a threat.
Definitely sounds like a threat.
Well, but it's a warning too.
Is she magically unconscious? Is she? Y'all
No.
kill her and need to bring her back to life? How are we doing this?
Gus here, he dropped some snakes on her, and they bit and squeezed her to death, and then the Farron stabilized her.
Not my
So
full
she-
intention. It was more of a
it was great.
Restraining technique. Went a little bit too far. Again, I'm not used to these flail humanoids.
Well, so she should be out for a little while then, huh?
You'll have to speak with
yeah.
the Farron about that. He was the one that rendered
I
her.
assume it'll be a while unless we bring her back.
Yeah, she's stable. If we do anything, then it'll heal her to a point where she'll be able to speak. If we do nothing, then we have an hour or 2 or 4.
Well, he just points at one of just throw her in there for right now.
So we do.
So you believe her? This was written where on the wall?
Yeah.
In blood.
In blood.
In blood. That's never a good sign if my cliche of any horror novel is right.
And I think it's their side of the prophecy. The bad guys.
The last line is not, though.
No, that's the same, right? That part's the same.
There's something about this which sounds familiar, but I failed my religion check, and I can't really remember what it is.
I thought the moon part was about the saloon. Do you think Milan has anything to do with this?
Well, that's been our ongoing theory.
And are the clergy the mistress of night? Is that
The moon.
Shar?
Yes, that is one of her titles. And the moon, of course, could refer to Selune. Selune. He kind of looks around.
I'll be with you forever.
It sounds like it's yes, I agree with you. It does sound like it is from their perspective, but if it's just I mean, I can't say that these sound like any very specific orders, if these are orders.
No, they're just telling you to follow orders.
And
Telling them to follow orders. And stay out of the moon.
and these numbers that the Farron is busy with.
I'm up to 207. We do have
They'll also
207.
seem busy with it. They'll
so,
using words to do it. And words seems to count it just fine pretty quickly. Vale would say 217 if you don't count spaces.
Did I count that poorly or add that poorly?
Anybody else want this?
Doing a great job. Keep it up. Whatever it is you're doing, keep it up.
So should we interrogate her, bring her back to a speakable?
There.
Well, if she's a zealot of Shar, then she probably won't speak and will probably try to kill us as soon as she's conscious. But if she is, as you say,
Zealot of Shar, though.
right, if she's not, which doesn't make any sense, then
Is anything making sense?
no, nothing has made sense for a long time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think if we can ensure that she will not escape, I say we bring her back to consciousness and interrogate her.
I mean, do we want to puzzle out this numbers before we bring her back?
Well, might be worth the time. We can
Easily.
solve it in the next hour or two. That way we can ask her about it directly before she disappears or makes us kill her.
I understand that. I'd hate to drop a rhinoceros on her.
Please do not drop a rhinoceros in here. It's a little small for a rhinoceros.
If you can promise me that you can restrain her before I do, then no rhinoceros it is. You seem like a pretty powerful magic user?
I thought so too until I went into the Underdark.
So, like Wigbit, you lost your brains?
Temporarily. That's what you came up with, Sav?
I'm working.
Yeah.
Processing.
That's about where I'm
Does
at.
You 07 or whatever came up with that?
Is that, does Sev say that out loud?
No,
Okay.
I'm just I'm getting there.
Okay. Stunum
It's like process.
immune.
Processing. The old immune. Processing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if punctuation counts.
Oh,
Yeah, I was wondering about a lot of things. I have it lined out in a spreadsheet by character without spaces from the bottom. The top down didn't look like it fit. I shared the document with you guys if anybody wants to make a copy and monkey.
But even so, yes, I got 00 for 21-22.
Yep.
So that's confusing.
I'm getting O.
Yeah. So how are we working this out?
I'm getting on.
By letter?
Really?
Yeah, why do you guys get O? I
No,
got O.
what are our characters doing?
Oh.
Like, we're not just standing here thinking about it. Like, are we like
Yeah.
papers on the ground, like
Room of
clocking things out? Did we go back to the room of collection and
Yeah.
spread things out on the table? Is that how
Yeah,
this is
the
working?
went back to the room of collection, and he has written it out and laid it on the table, and
Okay.
is starting to count up from the bottom, each character.
And
Okay.
I stayed down in the cell with the woman, and I'm kind of
Okay.
just sitting there watching her intently.
Okay. Ephesus finds one guard that's remaining in the for the room, kind of an older guard who, maybe sort of like the last castle defense, and orders him to go guard the cells. You don't think he probably would stand up too much if she came back and threw some powerful magic at him, but
Yeah.
he's
So
right.
so he comes walking up to the cell, and I say, I'm new to all this structural engineering. Is this cell capable of holding a person of this magnitude? From what I hear, she's pretty powerful.
Well, if you know me, she will be fine in here.
Okay, so you have faith in this stone and metal.
Metal is what got me here. And he grabs his sword and he holds it up, like he grins, and he's missing like a bunch of teeth.
And so I hold up my spear and I hold up my shield, and I say, I deal with nature, and it seems to do me well, but it looks like you relied on that steel too much, and it didn't do you well. And I kind of open my mouth, and I'm like going like this, like something's going wrong. Something went wrong with your face.
Yeah, you should have seen what the other fellow looked like.
I understand. These people that I'm traveling with. Do you know anything of them? Should I trust them?
Well, I've seen the one with the weird eyes come in a couple times, and everybody in the city said he was dead. So I'm not sure why he's here. I wanted to run him through when I saw him because he's dead, but I guess he's not dead. But maybe he is dead.
Where I'm from, we would say undead.
Yes. I didn't want to say that because I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. But yeah, that's
No more uncomfortable than I feel around that metal guy.
he's never seen really him before. I've never really seen anybody like him before. The frogman, he's been around a while.
He seems
he's
pretty
weird.
normal to me.
Oh, I mean, he's normal. And
you seem a little anxious. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm great. Besides my home is under siege, and he looks around, and
yeah,
and I'm
as we hear
I'm the only
booms.
one. Yeah, as you hear the boom in the distance,
Yeah.
I'm the only one standing between whatever's out there and Lord Ephesus. And he like grabs the sword and like, stands at his as straight as he can.
As the city's shaking.
He's like, but I'm yes. What's your story?
That's the question. What is my story? That is why I'm
right. That's the question. What is your story?
this apparently this follower of Shar has the answers, and I'm trying to find them. This vanishing. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, I forget stuff all the time, but I mean, apparently this is like different. This is like forget and don't ever remember again.
And this is what I'm trying to find my memories in it, and that this vanishing took from me.
Yeah, I had a buddy. He worked mostly the Southward Ironworks, Ironside. Rolf was his name. Yeah, vanishing got him a couple weeks ago. Poor soul. Woke up. Well, didn't wake up. I mean, he should have woken up, but he didn't wake up.
What? The vanishing killed him?
I mean, it drove him insane, and I mean, I don't know what happened to him, but he didn't wake up.
And I kind of like look at myself, and I look at him. Am I insane?
I mean, so I don't know. You seem pretty normal to me. Well, besides being, I mean, most people don't walk around with a shell in their back, but.
So I'm assuming you don't see many Tortles in the city.
I've never seen one of your kind in my life.
Well, congratulations. Here I am.
But I'm not a well-traveled fella, so.
You seem like you can handle yourself.
He puts his hand on the sword again, like, you're damn right I can.
Well, good.
You feel like one of your snakes would kill this guy.
Yeah. I'm kind of just patronizing him. So
right. Yeah. You feel like one snake grab and he would just like fall out. Yeah. But he's
so listen, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring her back to full health. Open the door and you take care of her.
Wait. Is that what but that Lord Ephesus said to guard her. He didn't say.
I think you look stout. I think you can handle it.
I don't want to not follow orders.
I gotcha. Okay, we'll stick with the original plan then. Is he sweating?
Oh yeah. It's like the beads of sweat you see kind of trickle down like from his head, and like the grip on the sword just went straight white knuckled when you said that, and he's like,
I try to hide that I'm kind of laughing inside.
And he's
So the original plan, we'll stick with that.
And then when he says the original, we're gonna guard her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you've seen these followers of Shar before.
I don't know too much about no Shar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you couldn't, but you can handle her.
Well, I mean, look at her. Anybody can handle her right now.
Excellent. So you watch her, and I'm just gonna leave you with her alone. She's
there. Nothing will get to get to her.
Okay. So when she comes to, you take care of her. I'm gonna leave.
All right.
Oh, did you see her move?
he does.
Does he jump?
Oh yeah, he did kind of like he does the.
Maybe I should stay. Should I stay?
Why don't you just stay here and we can talk about where you're from and he like fumbles for like a canteen. He like opens like he's oh that's better. Yeah. Oh, let's tell me about yourself.
I told you already. I've been vanished. Like your buddy, I'm just short of being insane.
He's just, yeah. So in the other room, I see we've put a bunch of letters in the chat.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at these papers and going, Down O P immune cell if elsem stone cope.
So
Portal open up to the astral.
Yes, I made a portal. Awesome.
You found the secret word.
Yep.
Yeah. So I looked on character sheets, but I'm going to ask anyway. Does anybody speak Celestial?
I know who did.
I know who did too.
Celestial is not the language that I speak. That's not Elvish.
We know someone though who speaks Celestial.
I say, well, thankfully, y'all are actually in the room with somebody who speaks Celestial. I was just going to try to give you all the opportunity to say it, but yeah. So when you say that, like Ephesus like looks up, and you say Sunam ooh, and he goes, "Help me," and then you say the second line,
Okay, immune.
"We are not immune.
Cell if
Make me well.
elsem sunum co."
I can help you."
That's the message she gave us.
That makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Does that make sense? So she has vanished.
Or something. She needs help. Maybe she's under a spell, a charm, or a domination, or one of those things.
Something that keeps her from being able to actually speak with us.
It seemed like she wanted to say something, but she was struggling.
What is this language?
This is the Celestial language.
Why would she know this?
Well, Celestial spoken by beings of, well, in some cases it's the language of the gods. Usually your divine, those who've been blessed by the divine, or I guess maybe cursed by the divine. Or maybe she just picked it up somewhere. That happens sometimes, so I hear.
Well, then let us go wake her up.
Says, if we are going with this theory, which sounds very plausible to me, he kind of looks around. Well, the Farron may remember this, that when he and his companions first started out, we had found a couple of people that were ransacking houses looking for this item that we assume now is the statue. But those people were unable to speak, and when they tried to, something essentially killed them before they could speak. I don't know, and I don't know if it's like a geese of some kind.
What?
He kind of looks right. He looks at all of you. It's a spell that binds you to a certain action or a certain thought or certain. And if you violate that, then it can cause you great harm. And in some cases, obviously, kill you.
That's
Then
why
again,
she-
does have her write her messages in code? Now that we know how to decipher them, and you can translate.
I suppose that may work.
Is there a way to isolate her from the magic that would affect her?
Or just to prevent the dying part?
That I'm unsure of. If it's a geese of some kind, then I don't know if we have any means to prevent it if it should take hold. I don't think I can dispel it.
How does it?
Since it's
Does it just
place.
make them die regularly? Or, I mean, is it?
Oh no, it attacks the mind.
Okay. Well, can you just?
It's the thing you hate the most, Wiglet.
Yes, that's far too much of that happening these days. Is there a way to just protect her mind from the attack?
If it is, that's out of my wheelhouse. That may be more of the.
You protected us before when we were being attacked. I felt your protection. Could that work?
Can you?
Spell was that?
You just did it after you cast some spells. You just absorbed some of our damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that. I mean, I may be able to absorb some of it if she sees me as an ally. But
you have no way to dispel that magic?
I don't know if I can't say I don't have a way. I'm just not sure if I do have a way.
Seems like a spell that perhaps a non-wizard person would know.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if the temple, if say Moongate would be a better means.
Well, you have access to.
You can. I have access to the Moongate.
Doesn't the Citadel have clerics?
We have clerics. I don't know if we have clerics that are of this power.
Hmm.
Then we are back to code.
Speaking code. Think it has to go 2 ways that way? Or just 1 way?
We would have to find out.
Maybe we should have a message ready for her.
I mean, she could understand us just fine. It might just be sending the information back out.
Yeah. We don't have to speak in code to her. She has to communicate in code to us.
Did you not say she attacked you though every time she saw you? Or ran from you?
We can blindfold her. She won't see us this time.
But did you two not say that in your minds she said that the answers we seek are here in the city?
Yes, that is what she said.
And perhaps she
said the answers aren't elsewhere. I don't think she said. She said you will not
in the city.
No, she said you won't find answers out of the city.
Then perhaps we will find answers in the city.
Perhaps, but it's.
And this is a wild chase.
She could just be messing with us. But no, I mean this message has to be something. This is far too much effort for just a joke.
But then again, let us go wake her up.
Yes. Atlas. 2 of the times that she escaped us, she cast a spell that allowed her to fall through a portal, basically. Moved several hundred feet away the first time.
Looked like a door.
Is there a way to
Yes.
prevent her from escaping in this manner here?
Well, I can, if I see her start to cast, I can attempt to dispel it.
Okay.
Can we not just bind her hands so she cannot?
If it is I have that spell. If it's a dimensional door type spell, she will only need to speak, and she can escape.
Perfect. Then we bind her mouth, and she only writes in code.
Perfect.
Likewise, if she were to use some kind of teleportation magic, she would only need to verbally call up the spell.
All right.
Which again,
Get some rope.
if I see her, I can try to interrupt her spell.
Oh, we can just do this and put the rope between her mouth and just knot it around the back.
Or we can do it that way as well.
Or both. If you see her casting something, then if you can stop her.
Come on, it's been about 4 hours since we've done anything rash. So yeah, he takes you back to y'all go back to the cell where you see Gus is having a conversation with this sweating guard.
So do you hear that? I think they're coming back. So I'm gonna bring her to, and you go ahead and jump on her and dispatch her right in front of them, and it'll look so epic.
But I don't think that that was the. That was not the.
I'm just kidding. We're gonna interrogate her.
Man. Yeah, right. Right. By that time, like Ephesus and the appears, and he kind of like straightens up, like and he's kind of like his arm is shaking a little bit as he's standing there.
I'm glad you guys came back. She was kind of creeping me out a little bit, and I thought I saw her wink a few times. If this guard hadn't have been here, it would have been for me.
He kind of looks at you like, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. And Ephesus says, I'm sure. Well done, guardsman. He opens the cell. So we're going to bind her as best we can.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll do it now then. I didn't know we weren't there. Yeah, well, let's just get that around there. No more talky talk.
Okay.
So you bound
Just
her
right,
hands.
right.
You bound her hands in her mouth.
No.
Well, she needs her hand if she's gonna write.
Okay, so her hands are out, but her mouth is like.
She doesn't need her mouth to talk. She needs her hands to talk.
Right, and Vale will stay behind her. Make sure she
Okay.
doesn't go reaching for it.
Do any of you have a way to bring her back to consciousness?
Yeah, Ephesus looks around. All
Yeah,
right.
I can do that. I'll do whatever, my spell. I have a healing spell.
Oh, you do?
That's right.
Yeah, he's a ranger.
Come on.
I mean, I do too, but I just wanted to see if anybody else did.
Oh yeah, I don't do it, but I do it.
I don't do it, but I do it. I like your,
forgot. I
I
thought,
like your style.
yeah, I thought we were like it was 5 upside
I'll
the head.
cure
or
wounds.
something. Okay. Yeah. She
Stay nearby
kinda-
to restrain if necessary.
kind of rolls her eyes, and her eyes open up, and she sees where she is, and she looks up at all y'all, and she starts like, and she got like that sneer on her face, and she's snarling essentially through the gag.
We got your code, and we are curious what kind of help we can provide. Since you do not want to talk to us, we figured perhaps you can continue to write in your code.
And she
I'll put down the paper with her wall of writing kind of copied down and put my pencil or whatever we write with next to it.
Blood.
What? Yeah.
Yes.
It's only that's more of the gaze. She can only write in blood.
Why do you think the guardsman is here?
He's a red shirt.
Seb walks over, grabs him,
Yep.
pulls him over.
I'll try not to
We
let
need
too
your-
much out.
We need your life force.
Yep. Whisper.
And she looks she kind of has a sort of a like that I've kind of been calling the hand in the cookie jar type look, but you can also tell that like she's petrified. I mean, you can tell like amidst all that, you know, she's tough obviously, but you can see it as she's kind of looking at you that she's got a look of like she is absolutely petrified right now. And so she's giving off that like confused but also angry snarl, but then you can tell she is scared.
So you're safe here.
I think she's afraid I'm going to drop 500-pound snake on her again. I've seen that look, and that was the look she had when the snakes fell on her head.
You're not going to do that, right, Gus?
And I kind of point the spirit, and I'm like, "Is that right? Are you afraid of my snake? Snakes plural."
And she actually looks at you, and that like look kind of turns to like she sort of almost winces at that, but then she said like she's you know, and you can't really tell what she says, but she said something at you.
I think she says
I
that.
feel like you are not going to escape us this time, are you? This is a safer place in here than out there for you, isn't it?
Blink once for yes, twice for no.
Or you could just nod or shake your head.
Or that.
Or write down more numbers.
She blinks twice actually.
For yes?
I think one was yes, two was no, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what she heard, so she blinked twice.
She said no.
No, you're not. No, you're not going to escape. In here is safer than out here, isn't? Or out there, isn't it?
And she blinks twice again.
It doesn't seem to agree.
She thinks it's safer out there.
Very safe right now, do you?
Why don't you ask her about her message?
This message that you wrote to us. You've suffered from the vanishing, haven't you?
I don't see a blink. I think she's dead.
She points at the third row of numbers.
Selune.
Yep. Which is the make me well part.
You want your memories restored?
She slowly shakes her head, but as she's doing it, she's just got this look of.
She wants to say yes.
She's slowly shaking her head.
Oh.
Like she's straining just to be able to do so?
Yeah, but it's not like it's like she's being restrained. She's just doing it really slowly.
You're not so sure you want your memories restored, but you've lost them, haven't you?
She kind of slowly shakes her head again,
Oh, you want to be well as in unbound from this magic that is threatening you right now.
And before you finish the sentence, she blinks one time. Very obvious.
Okay. So we need to unbind her from this magic.
All right. I go ahead and I try dispel magic. When I hear that we want to get rid of this magic, I cast dispel magic on her.
Okay.
And let me see. I think that's I think I can do third level. I don't know that would matter.
Okay, so you cast dispel magic, and there it is. And so you cast the spell. The spell has been cast.
There we go.
I don't know if that worked, but you mentioned dispelling her magic, and I tried my best. We'll see if it works.
Did it work?
Ephesus kind of says, it's a noble effort, but I have a feeling if it's of a geese type magic, your dispelling will not affect it.
Well, is that a curse? What
It's a curse of a kind. So we need something of a slightly higher power. It potentially could be removed with a spell that can end a curse. But I don't know what we're dealing with as far as who put this on her. He looks at her. Who put this geese on you? And when he says that, her eyes go from like slightly petrified to insane, like just a. And she starts like vehemently like shaking her head, and like she puts her hands up. And
I've seen that look. That's what the guard looked like. Right before he grabbed his brain.
that you
well,
hear the caster of that spell?
and she just like stops and sort of just gives you that. Like by now, like a lot of the color in her face is kind of drained.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like got her hands up, like
It was that half elf of Shara, wasn't it?
just she's sort of doing like the stop, like she's like,
He must die.
I don't think this one has the answers anymore. I think she's too far gone. Either we break the curse to get the answers, or we seek out who cursed her.
So how does one break a curse?
Who do we need to ask for at the Moongate to come to us?
well, I'd imagine it would require someone of the Moon Maiden's power, maybe. Hopefully not, but
If the Moon Maiden answer a summons from you?
no. We will probably have to take her there.
Okay. Then we should.
I do not know how the Moon Maiden will respond to a follower of Shar in her church, though.
Poorly.
I would imagine.
So maybe a warning?
I mean, she would be the most powerful priestess in the city. There are other priests and priestesses in the city, but I don't know, and they may have the ability to do something about this. But if you are to take her to the Moongate, then we can send word ahead, but that means little. We do not have power over the Moongate. We merely work with the Moongate. And the Moongate wants to see all that is done well for the people of the city, so...
This would do well for the people of the city. This could do well for the people of the city.
Yeah, but just like anything else, Farron, as we've discovered in this hunt for ending the vanishing, everything that we believe to be true doesn't necessarily have a lot of evidence attached to it.
This is true.
And I don't know what we're going to present to Moongate about this follower of Shar that isn't just all circumstantial at this point.
So who there trusts you most?
Oh, at the Moongate?
Yes.
I mean, I don't have much dealings with people at the Moongate.
Well, they should know of the new bit of prophecy.
I believe, and he looks at the Farron, I believe you have more to do with the Moongate than most anyone here.
What do I have to do with the Moongate?
Is that not where you were housed for so long before you disappeared and Vale found you?
Oh, my corpse was at the Moongate.
Yes.
Well then, do you think that they'd listen to me? I never spoke to any of them.
They may be interested in hearing why you are alive again, and also
I'm also interested in hearing this. Wait, you were dead?
and they may have some interest in whatever you know about their missing acolyte.
Vale can help with that.
Indeed.
I can tell them of our true enemy.
All right. Vale, maybe you're the light of the moon. Maybe they hide from you.
Huh? I mean, that would be impressive, but I do not think I am the light of the moon.
But there have been mentions before. The barking dogs,
And so we're supposed to quench Vale?
No, they are. We gotta protect Vale.
Kill the angel, protect Vale.
They're gonna hide from him.
Wouldn't the veil of the moon be something that does quench the moon?
Oh,
That's
Putting
what
a
I was
veil
thinking as
over
well. It's like,
Wig was looking at you suspiciously.
who, Vale or Sev?
Vale.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave, but we'll be back. And when we come back, we'll have a way to get you to the Moongate so that we can heal your mind free from this magic prison that you're in.
And Ephilos looks at Wigbit and he says, do you remember when we were in the Underdark, that thing you did? And he starts describing essentially when you knock somebody out when you hit them over the head. You remember that? You remember that chamber we were in, and you smacked him just to knock him out? Because I mean, he starts like trying to just say it without really saying it out loud.
Just crack her on the head.
I feel like that would be a right. Yeah, good. I'm glad you picked up on that. Yeah. So
I was ready. Yep.
So
And I'll put some rope around her hands and.
Oh, you just knocked her out again?
What's that?
Oh snap! That just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So y'all, none of y'all, but Ethelus started like saying like, "Hey, Wigby, you remember when we were in the Underdark and like we were in that chamber and there was that woman, and you remember what you said to her?" And by the time Wigby goes, "Yeah," and he's like just pops her and
Whoa!
pops.
Wow, that just happened. Okay, so we're leaving her here, and I look over at the guard and I say, "Dude, looks like you got good luck."
I got her, Lord Ethelus.
I'll tap her.
Me and Gus here. We'll protect. We'll keep anybody from getting to her.
Whoa, no,
Right, Gus?
No, this is you, man. I'm going with these guys. You got this.
All right. I got this.
You do, and I kind of wink at him like you got this.
All right. Let us to the temple then
Yes.
on this very long night.
Yeah, it's got to be like 4 or 5 in the morning now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's like 3 to 4 now.
Yeah.
It's moving on in the morning. Yeah, so I'm gonna expedite this real quick. So you crossed in the city, and again, Moongate is pretty close to the tower. It's one of these in the
I'd
middle here.
imagine
In the
this
inner
time in the morning, no one's out, so we can just cruise right through town.
Yeah. Very few people out. And you get to the Moongate. When you get there, there's an acolyte who welcomes you, like in the light of the moon, and what brings you here in these troubled times, surely to receive the blessings of Selune, and starts just talking. Eventually, you get to where you're here, and sum up. Long story short, they tell you that the Moon Maiden is in commune right now and will not be available until the light of dawn. And regardless of what you say, unless you turn violent, and regardless of what you say, like there's no way that no, Seven's like, I think we can make it to her. That
They are merely flesh.
But yeah, so like the acolyte tells you that, and then like a slightly higher ranking priestess comes over and says the same thing, and
We
says,
asked to talk to her manager.
right. And they say we need to call this number, and you'll be able to talk to them there. And then they reroute you, and it's a big mess.
I'd like to go to corporate. Can I speak?
We go get our Karen, and we come back.
There you go. Yeah.
Necessarily, we just need a cleric of power, right?
I don't know.
How much power?
Enough to remove a curse.
Give us the best one we got.
We have a person who's under the power of a Geese spell.
And so one of the high-ranking priests says, "Well, that's fair and simple. It's just a matter of removing said curse from that person." And
Seems simple enough.
Would you be willing to come with us to the Citadel to remove this curse, or would we have to transport them to you? It's a delicate matter.
I think it would be best if you brought this person to us.
I don't think they believe you because they think you're dead. Did they have this whole you being dead thing, and now you're back over here alive? I think you're confusing them.
Yeah, and you do notice that like none of the people you're talking to seems to recognize any of you at this moment.
So I was in your care until recently, and my body was stolen from here.
Selune cares for all.
I am the Farron. I was here in repose.
Oh, geez. Now I really think you've confused them.
There's a lot of people have been in our care over the years.
Here. I was dead here, and my body was stolen from your Moongate.
And his eyes kind of get wide, like, you're that Farron.
I am the
I
Farron.
post to the other Farron.
I pointed my nose and I'm like, mm-hmm. You got it. You figured it out.
He says, oh. I think it would be best if you returned in the morning where Moon Maiden Kalen can address whatever it is afflicts you.
It is not for me.
I believe Selune has spoken on this matter.
The morning will be too late.
So the morning is just the time before the next night.
The morning is the time when all the army that's outside the walls destroys the city.
This is so.
I believe Selune will protect us.
Your
Bale's gonna try and slip off,
Okay.
and he's gonna do so. Well, so first he's just gonna try and, make himself a little bit scarce, if that is possible.
Trying to cause trouble.
It's not trouble. So first of all, like, is he able to kind of get himself hidden?
Oh my god.
I mean, I was gonna say no, but I think 29 is pretty. Yeah.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good, because I'm
yeah.
gonna make that worse. So
Yeah.
once he's able to get himself a little bit hidden, he's gonna spend a couple of key points, and shadows and silence starts to radiate from him. And so for the next hour, he's got a +10 on his dex checks for stealth, and they can't be tracked except by magical means and leaves no tracks. So he's going to go try and find this Moon Mother.
Okay. All right.
So he'll stealth his way, towards.
Okay.
I don't know if they had indicated. If they hadn't, he'll start searching.
Okay. And what is everyone else doing? I mean, talking, but
what is this?
Go ahead.
What is this Selune you speak of?
That'll just the rest of the night. I'll take till dawn.
You are in the home of Selune,
Well,
the goddess of. Do what?
why doesn't she come help then? If the other one is busy.
I think he was saying she's asleep and she's
No, the other
Yeah.
one's asleep. The
oh
Moon Maiden. But this Selune can come help.
The god doesn't come directly. They imbue their followers with power.
So she's not here. This is
Oh,
not her
she is
house.
everywhere. She is a presence.
Where is she?
While the light of the moon shines, she is there.
This person who we're speaking to has magic that they can channel from Selune.
She's moonlight.
She is the moonlight. She's the stars. She's everything that makes the night such a beautiful place.
So if we just bring this person we need to help out into the moonlight, that
yeah. That really isn't how it works.
this sounds like a child's tale.
Oh, Selune is involved in many child's tales. Are you not familiar with the? And she starts to talk about Selune, and I try to quote all the things that this cleric of Selune used to say, but I can't remember it all. So,
Where did Val go?
Did you make up this story?
So Vale, what are you? So you are like.
Do you see Vale?
So yeah, I don't know if they had indicated kind of, so said like she was in community. All right, because I don't know how big this place is, but he'll start sneaking around, searching, trying to find
Okay.
Smooth.
It's a big temple,
Okay.
and there's multiple layers to it. And as you start to sneak around, I mean, you do see there are lots of people that are in, their nightly duties. I mean, obviously, being a church of Selune, they'd be fairly active at nighttime. And so you sneak through, and you're looking for her, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or potential like her chambers to identify where she could be.
Okay. So how long are the others going to stand here and talk?
I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So it's clear
Right
that,
here on the floor.
it's clear, like they will talk to you a lot about like Selune and the glories of everything. But if it gets back to the question,
So as
of,
they're
like,
talking, I kind of tapped the Fern on the shoulder and I'm like, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this. And I kind of whisper to him, I'm like, and Vale kind of isn't here.
And I nod, and then I continue talking. I'm gonna
I
make
love it.
persuasion. I'm trying to persuade him that there is an imminent threat on the city. That
and so again, like
yeah,
he's on your side with that, but he's not going to be allowed, and he's not going to leave the church to go do this thing you want him to do.
Right.
Like there's no, you could roll a 47 on your persuasion. It's just not going to work.
I
Like
can't roll 47 on my persuasion.
I know you can't. I'm surprised you rolled a 16, to be honest. But I like,
Right.
yeah, you are. But like, it's just one of those things. Like,
But I'm going to keep on talking with him in circles, great big circles, and move really slowly.
So there's some stalling going on. Is that what it sounds like?
There's not stalling. It's a discussion.
It's a filibuster.
And if I can,
Okay.
I can attract more people into this, and we can form a council.
Oh, you want to sit on cushions and ask questions?
So, and I look at Seven, I'm like, this is normal then?
I don't know. I met them 4 hours ago.
Oh, wow. I only met them an hour and a half ago.
Okay. But yeah, with your persuasion, Baron, like, yeah, y'all just talk them in circles. Like, yeah, they will talk. At least the one guy will.
My persuasion wasn't to get anywhere. The purpose of my persuasion was to get more clerics involved.
Yeah. So, and a couple acolytes will come out every once in a while and like listen to the conversation. At some point they'll stop there and obviously they're listening and trying to learn. And then they'll, go about their duties. And so, yeah, so I'm going to take this by increments. So y'all just let me know when to stop. So 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour.
I'm also going to add in my own inane questions about Selune and why I can't see her. I want proof.
Yeah.
Where is she? She's the moonlight.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and right. And so I assume that was happening too. So like he's proselytizing, then he'll like stop and like no. So and then he'll like, he'll restart. And so yeah. So some of you are stalling on purpose and some of you are not stalling on purpose, but you're still stalling. I think
finished my short rest after that first hour.
Wigman like sits on the floor.
Out of it. No, I'm sleeping.
Where do you go?
Like in the corner on the steps. I don't know where. I don't know where this conversation's happening, but
so yeah, I mean they're like in like the antechamber. So I mean, are you gonna
looking nook?
So I see Wigbit go off, and I just kind of get into my shell, and in like up against the wall, and I'm like shaking my head, and I slowly just recluse back into my shell, and I take a nap.
All right. So napping, talking. Okay.
My rest.
Yes, since neither one of you need to sleep.
Yeah.
We could do this all night.
No, I can talk, read, and walk as my rest time.
Nice.
Because warlocks. Yeah. So after Vale, after some time of like looking, you do stumble across obviously a different chamber that has like these nicer looking damask doors, and there's like an acolyte that's kind of like standing in front of it, and the acolyte, it's like, is sitting there, and she's got like a book, and she's just reading the book, and her body language tells it like she's bored out of her mind, but like this is her duty for tonight, and so she's just sitting there just reading her book. Doesn't look up or anything, just is like,
So Vale will put on the hat of disguise and make him look like the guy that they were talking to.
Okay. All right.
And he will walk to her. In his best accent, with his the accent of the guy that he was listening to for a while.
Yes.
May the light of Selune bless you, child.
Oh, I wanted to hear Suf do an accent.
I don't remember what he would.
Of an accent.
Of an accent.
An accent with an accent. Yeah. She kind of like startles. Yeah. She like stands up. Then gives him his title, which I've drawn a blank on right now, but it's the title. Moon. God, I forgot what it was.
Moonhand?
Moonhand. Thank you.
Moonhand.
Yes. Moonhand.
Yes, you clearly could use some rest. Go. I will find another acolyte to stand watch.
Yes, Moonhand. She scurries away.
Perfect. And I'll look around. We're all clear?
Yeah.
Right, he'll slip on into that door.
Okay. So when you open the door, this is obviously a larger chamber, and you see an elven woman that is in like some kind of commune. There's like various ritual things about, and she's clearly like in the middle of something. She's got like a window open, and you see the moon is like coming in through the window, and so she's kind of bathed in that light, and she's she doesn't notice when the door opens. She's just in prayer.
He'll put the hat of disguise away and clear his throat. Excuse me.
And you see her eyes kind of snap open, and she looks over.
I apologize for disturbing you. However, the fate of the world, that is not selling short, seems to be in the balance, and we are hoping that you might take a little time out of your prayers to help us with a problem that might help with vanishing.
What do you want?
There is a follower of Shar who is cursed not to speak the truth to us. She wishes to be free.
Because she's a follower of Shar.
Exactly. But it seems that she may be willing to talk and give us information, but obviously she cannot. So we are hoping we can find someone who can break that curse, allow her to speak, and give us information that may very well help us stop the vanishing.
You come to this holy place, you sneak into my chambers, and you ask me to help a follower of Shar speak the truth when we know they will do no such thing?
Correct.
I suggest you leave this place, Tabaxi.
Yes, I very much would like to. But I am trying to figure out how I can get your assistance first.
You need to seek answers in other places then.
So you cannot.
I am busy seeking answers myself. And she looks around. I was.
Freaking nobles. Yes, of course. But I do not think you quite grasp the gravity of this.
You are correct.
Apparently the collectors, those who have been working with Ephelis to solve the vanishing, have continued to come across roadblocks and roadblocks. This is a possible answer. Some way that we can actually find why the vanishing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, step closer and closer to stopping this curse upon the land. I would think that would interest you.
Make a persuasion roll.
Alright. Not as good at this. I wish I was lying.
Oh, it was.
Do we have inspiration?
It wanted
Do we have inspiration?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't think it's gonna help. But 3 is a small number, but
Oh, wow.
about as well as I
19
can
is a
do.
good number, yeah.
About as well as I can do.
Nice.
And she looks at you for like a long moment. And she looks outside like the waning moonlight by this point, since it is getting on towards. And says, return to the antechamber. I will meet you there. And she kind of looks down at herself as soon as I am more presentable.
I owe you in the world of potion. Slip on back out.
Okay. All right. And so you slip back out and eventually like get back
Make
out.
my way back.
Yeah. And I mean, you're pretty much invisible right now anyway, right?
I mean, yeah, I can recast it. Like if an hour's been up, you can recast and get another +10 on stealth for another hour.
Are you trying to be sneaky when you go out, or are you just like walking through the hallways like?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be caught anywhere.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know if you were just like, ha, I can get something Moon Maiden, sucker.
I just did
that. Like strut down the hallway, like.
No, he'll do that. He'll do that later when he tells everybody about it.
Yeah, and like after like about an hour, yeah, Vale reappears. Doesn't reappear, but he, shows himself again.
He'll be leaning up against a wall or a pillar and eating some rations.
By the are you doing it by like the tortle shell that's over there against the wall?
Yeah, I'll eat over by Gus.
Okay, I kind of hear him like eating, and I come out of my shell, and I'm like, so
eating a cracker.
How'd that go?
It seems to have gone well. We'll find out hopefully very soon.
Good.
You hungry?
Sure.
Hand him some jerky.
All right. I kind of look at it and save this for later. Not much of a meat eater.
Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, so you stand there and y'all are just listening to the preachings of Selune, and Sev keeps asking questions that are, seemingly off base, but then you realize maybe Sev really doesn't know anything about anything. and like the Moonhead's first reaction was that like these are sort of ridiculous, but then when you keep asking him, he's like, oh, he really does not know. He really must. And so like he's the Moonhand like turns its attention to you, Sev, and is like really just starting to like preach towards you, about the, how the moonlight will protect us and it will keep us safe from the impending darkness. And you hear Shar mentioned at some point in there about, so it's like that kind of thing.
What about when there's no moon and it's just dark outside? Then what protects us? So it doesn't protect us all the time? How is the moonlight a god? I don't understand. And you say the moonlight lives in this place? That doesn't make any sense. Moonlight doesn't live anywhere.
Right. And so I think that is like an appropriate place, like as the episode draws to an end, we just hear Seb's like stream of consciousness, like as things fade to black, we just hear Seb like, well, how does the moon protect us? What if it gets dark? What is this light? Yeah, and that's like, and we see like Wigbit like lying on the steps
in
like
my dreams.
We hear like Seb's yeah, we hear like Seb's voice like washing over him, and so we'll find out in a couple weeks what the Moon Maiden has to say.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we will not be on this coming up Sunday.
This next Sunday, we will not be.
Yep.
We will be busy doing something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is almost as important as D&D.
It's not as important as the vanishing.
Right.
It's also real, which makes it more important.
It
than
is real. It's a real life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It ranks up there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like vanishing this thing.
Yeah, it's like right there.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of the vanishing in that it will be memorable.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Right. And I mean, they both somebody put a lot of planning into both of these things.
That's true.
Right.
They have a lot, a lot at stake here. So
Yeah.
I think
And hopefully
involved in both.
Well, hopefully what's not true is us ruining that.
Well, hopefully I won't have to find answers by dropping snakes on anyone.
yeah.
That would be a good way to get answers, though.
Well, it also might ruin everything.
We'll find out. In 2 weeks, we'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out with us, and yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks to find out how moonlight helps. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.